Do you know what? Being a football fan is a bit of shit at times, isn't it? I also just want to say, like, today I found out when my sister gave birth to her first child. I'm an uncle, a proper uncle for the first time. And as happy as I am about this once in a lifetime joyous event, typical Arsenal to take the shine off it for me a little bit. Now, maybe that makes me a terribly shallow person because, to be honest with you, like, football's not as important as real life. Is it? Here to help me work it all out. I'm going to go through the comments, but let's invite. So he's not sitting backstage. Don't waste that trip. Don't waste those curtains. How you doing, Gary?
I'm doing good. I guess I should be doing good, but I'm doing good. I get to come out here and talk, so that's kind of what we do, right? It's what we do.
We've
Our
got a
fans.
good crowd in.
Yeah. So exhale.
I'm going to go through some of the comments because we've got a lot of people in, and you know what I'm like. Otherwise, I'll get lost. Mort Licky Texas is here. Great to see you, mate. Hope you're faring well and you're not getting hit by too many snowstorms. It's the old pattern. It feels like it. If by that you mean build our hopes up and then have these just really out of character performances that make you question everything. I don't think I'd be questioning so much about this performance if it wasn't for the previous times we've gotten into pole position and thrown it away. Glazer's out, Dan, I feel for you. Glazer's out. Well done, Lucky Singh. Let me just say, look, it must have been a fantastic result for you. All three United goals, great to see you, by the way, Nathan. All three United goals came from that zone 14 central box edge, same as Inter, and teams are targeting with early shots, quick plays, needs fixing as soon as possible. I will say two of those goals are worldies. Big game, score first and concede quick versus United, Bayern at the Bernabeu, etc. We relax, overplay at the back, intensity drops, opponents punish us. We need new protocols when ahead in big games. Yeah, I think, for me, something I'd like us to discuss, just agree or disagree with me. But I think there was some tiredness, there was some mental fatigue. Zubamendi's played almost every minute. I just felt like they weren't quite sharp enough. And it's interesting because I didn't call it. When I saw them coming out of the tunnel, I thought, they look up for it. They look purposeful. They don't look frivolous. But when you take a goal up, that's when you don't start playing soft balls. I mean, I haven't seen Zubamendi make a worse pass than that. Finally, attacks too predictable now. Years of footage means teams shut down our patterns. Carrick nullified us, fresh in the job. Time to mix it up and start asking different questions. But do we have time before the end of the season? Lone Star Londoner says, great to see you, by the way. Bit dramatic, just one match lost in the last 82. Very sloppy in position, didn't move the ball quick enough. Little threat down the flanks, rebound immediately. Yeah, that's what we're all hoping. And I think that I have no idea the mood of everybody yet, but I kind of hope that we're all not throwing the baby out with the bathwater. But I don't need to tell you, there are streams happening right now where Arteta out, Fraudegaard, Saka's washed, Jesus is, everybody's getting it. And that's just how football is, isn't it? And I understand people riding their emotions, but I think we're grown-ups here. Let's try and talk it through. And we will. Right, so Majin's here. Hey, mate, great to see you. Absolutely disgusted. I think that's kind of fair. AFC writes, Bosh! Evening landlord, I'll have a pint of crisis meeting, spelt very badly. There's no H in crisis meeting. And a packet of I just knew we won't win nothing, please, means double negative, quad still loading. I'm glad. I wanted someone to say quad still loading. God, I feel a bit less confident, though. We gift wrapped the equaliser for 1-1. It was ridiculous. Morley Texas says, hello, everyone. But we will win the title. I hope so. Zanzi Barbarian, lucky split. All good in the hood, Zanzi. The form of DDL is choking form. Players have sabotaged. Let me start again. The form is DDL. That is choking form. Draw, loss. I understand now. Players have self-sabotage, self-destruction. No matter how anyone put it, first title in 22 will never be easy. We understand, though. Yeah. Big up, boss man. I'm normally so positive about this team, but I was so disappointed with today. It was such a big game and we felt the pressure. Let's forget this game and move on and bounce back. We have to bounce back. And you know what, Malia, seeing you not being fully positive is a new one for me. So hopefully we'll cheer you up in this stream. I hate to sound reactionary, but I'm done with Arteta regarding making Arsenal an elite club. That does seem a little bit reactionary. We are still top of the table. But listen, I'm not here to tell you you can't feel that way. I think I kind of feel like that, but I'm just hoping it'll pass. And then Jose's here. Greetings, everyone. Great to see you. Charles, yes, Dan, it's players' fault. 100% Arteta is accountable, but players are responsible. Criticise Arteta, fair, but players need to be slated. I'm not on that. I don't really feel that. I think, honestly, there were some predictable patterns. Timber needs a rest. He played really badly against Inter, and he played probably about as badly today, and he's played too many games. I think there is a point where there is a reason the manager takes a responsibility. He gets the praise when it works and he's not kicking a ball, but you do have to take responsibility when players... And I think with his substitutions, and it just looked like he was throwing everything in the kitchen sink at it, but without any real plan. Boy, Ted Diaz here. Thank goodness quad loading has arrived. There's always a strong desire in this fan base to panic. It's becoming clear why we've struggled to win at the Emirates. I think I want to talk about that as well, because I do think that it all plays a part. But I don't know who... I don't think you'd be surprised that those of us who've been watching Arsenal, even if it's just the last 3 seasons, start to get that, oh, here we go again feeling when we play a game like that. I don't mind losing, but it's how you lose. I was supposed to start making supper an hour ago, but I've been in a shit mood. I know I had to sit through dinner. It was lovely. I had a great family dinner. I've had a fantastic day, but this just absolutely kills me, these results. Too much of the hype videos and lack of spine on the pitch. We lack leaders. It definitely felt like that. I'm getting stoned Lone Star, so I should be on a different mood soon. Social Joins is here. Evening. Good to see you. Haven't seen you in a while. I'm guessing you're probably done with this lot now. Hope mum and baby are well. Yes, everybody's well. Tiny little thing he was. Baby Blaine. Look at this. Idrissa Dam turned up. Arteta is a good coach and has put together a good coach. However, Arteta is a great coach and has not put together a great team. He's taken Arsenal as far as he can. He's flatlining. We're going to come back to that. It's going to come up again. Idrissa Dam! I'm getting very worried about our league. Fair enough. Social Join says it's not out of character. It's happened multiple times in multiple years. You can't disagree with him on that. You just can't. You're not going to fix Ray's propensity to concede against long shots. That's a bit harsh. Gary, I've read a lot of these comments and I've got you sitting there and I do want to hear what you think. So, what are your thoughts? What was your take?
Yes, I'm going to react to what you said so far, just so that I don't feel like I'm spilling out my own thoughts, which sometimes go astray. But the one thing you did say that stuck out for me and what I noticed when I was doing a watch along is the team actually did look tired. That first half, they looked tired. Either did they work too hard in between games? Did they not play in the last game and that made a difference in how they played? Like the form just dipped, Did they not, did they work not hard enough to actually get them, but keep them in form? It just did. It looked off. And can I pick one player that had a bad game today? I don't think so. I don't think I could do that. You know what I mean? I don't think I can pick one player.
You could throw a ping pong ball in that dressing room and hit someone who had a bad game.
Yeah. I think everybody. Yeah, I think everybody struggled. I mean, I think a lot of people said Declan Rice stood out to them as the most consistent player, but he always is. So his level of good today, he probably would say wasn't the best. He probably would have wanted to do more. Everybody else, it seemed, had their bits and pieces where they did one thing good, maybe another thing not so good. It looked like we didn't come out to play. And I always say there's a 3-game stretch where we're going to struggle. I thought we had it already.
Yeah.
But then when I really didn't want to believe this 3-game stretch, which wasn't consecutive, which is usually consecutive for us. If you remember, if you go back multiple seasons, we've had 3 straight games in a row where we've got knocked out of the Champions League and basically killed ourselves a little bit in the league play, right?
Yeah.
We didn't really have that this season. I thought that when we played the North London Derby, Bayern, and Chelsea, those 3 games in a row, I thought those were the games that, because we didn't get the win against Chelsea and we should have, and we could have put ourselves up in the league. I thought, okay, that might be, hopefully that's the game. But these 3 games, which have been staggered out, we haven't played them consecutively, but they're all in the same league. They're all in the league, Premier League. They all 3 made a difference because in each, either we had a chance to extend our lead or just to maintain. We didn't extend it enough. 2 points out of 9. When you've played Liverpool, who just lost yesterday to Bournemouth, you would think, okay, Nottingham Forest, who's sitting just above the relegation zone, even though they won today as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you're playing a Manchester United team who has what looks like that kind of Leeds run, where Leeds played, I think, City, Liverpool, and somebody else all in a row, and you
Mm.
thought they would struggle, and they did not struggle, right?
Mm.
And that's what they look to be on that. We'll see how long it lasts. We'll play Leeds and figure out if Leeds is all about it. But yeah, no. Today, tired, leggy, whatever it might be, we didn't look up for the challenge. We got the goal, but I don't. I thought we would come out maybe first 20, 30 minutes and put something on them. Like, you
With
know
some
what?
energy, sort of high
Yeah.
octane, kind of show them where they are. I think didn't happen anything like that. This
Yeah.
tiredness, you know what? Like, it's easy for people. I don't think it's all about minutes. I think it's about fatigue. I think it's about mental fatigue. I think it's about getting through Christmas and just a point where I think anyone who's, whether you play pool or you've run, a marathon, whatever you do, there's a point where your mind lets you down a little bit. You lose focus or concentration. If you're playing a tennis match, you suddenly find you've lost a game to love and you have to wake yourself up. And really, most champions are not people who never lose, but they're people who don't let a loss affect them. And I'm worried about this team because what looked like to me wasn't even physically tired players. It was mentally tired players. It was tired players get a goal up and they think, oh, we'll just, it's the same thing they've been doing. And I don't know if this comes from Arteta. He's criticised them for it. But ultimately, it looked like some combination of stress and pressure and tiredness, mental fatigue. And no one's going to want to hear it, because these are really well-paid people. They go to Inter, and they had to play a game of football. Then they got on private jets and flew back to London and had probably a couple of days of not training. But I don't think it is just us. I think when you look across football, Bayern Munich lost at home yesterday to Augsburg. Every away game won today. There are anomalous results happening everywhere. No team's really grabbing it by the scruff of the neck. And I'm not here to make excuses, but I am here to understand. But then I do blame Arteta for that, because even just a relative idiot like me can look at it and go, Timber's performances have been steadily declining to a point where it reached a really low point against Inter. Maybe give him a rest. And Ben White's on the bench and doesn't play. And Ben White suits Gyökeres better. And instead of Gyökeres out there, he's got Jesus, because Jesus has played scored a couple of goals against Inter in a very different style. I feel like he made the wrong changes today and he put the wrong team out. And I really like Zubimendi, but you have to look at it and say it's 2,500 minutes so far already this season. It's every 3 days. It's relentless. He's working with his players in training. He's in the dressing room with them just before they go out there. Did they look up for it? Did he get the balance of that right? Did he fire them up enough? I was worried they were going to be too fired up. I thought we never really looked in any danger at all until we scored the goal. And then it's like, oh, right, we've done it. Now we're going to win. And everyone just switches off. Forget that you're in a boxing match with someone. You're much better than them. Your results have been much better than them. You drop your guard. And you only have to drop your guard a little bit to get knocked out. We got knocked out really hard.
Yeah,
we got knocked out twice.
Yeah. No, we gave them the lifeline that they needed. Like, you know what? You get, like you said, we get that goal. They score the goal. That's deflating that they scored the goal. Came off of the Butcher's leg, but Timber was there, so it could have given him a goal anyway, regardless. It looked like, so that's what we wanted to see. But a little deflation there, and then as you said, with just a little bit of I blame it. And this is where I kind of ended my show when I did the watch along after the road trip, my Sunday morning road trip. We kind of was blaming Arteta, and they didn't like that. They thought it was the players, and I was like, I kind of feel it's the way we want to play, and kind of sets us up sometimes.
Yeah,
that Zubimendi pass back for me. If his mentality and the style of play for me is, you know what, turn the ball up the pitch if you've got space. If the defense is going to give you that, turn the ball up the field, because there was nobody off to from him to the touchline. He had enough time to turn, go up the pitch, and maybe push the ball up the pitch. But his first thought for me was, I'm going to pass this back or cross, sideways, but poor pass turns into ugh. And we saw that before. Gabriel did a similar pass, no look pass, poor pass turns into a goal, and
I think I just want to pick up on something you're saying there, though, because here's the thing, right? Like, when you say it's the players, the thing that comes across to me over the last 3 or 4 seasons is belief. Really confident teams go out there and keep playing. Even Carrick had Man United keep playing. This team, they suddenly start to think about everything that's going on. Yeah. And I would love it to be an Alex Ferguson type manager that sends them out and go, you don't think until you come back here after the 91st. No one thinking, all right? But to set them up with a little bit more creative freedom so they don't have to think so much. I saw a really good thing on Highbury Squad where Sophie was saying there's nothing wrong with Odegaard as a footballer, but you get this feeling he's always trying to do what he's told on the pitch. And that this is a time now. Champions can't be those people. You have to, as Arteta now, I think, has to self-examine more than he's looking at these players and just go, was the mood right? Do they believe? Because if you really believe, when Man United went 2-1 up, weren't you expecting us to flood forward and push? And no, and it's the same thing all the time. It's lay the pass off to Saka, make Saka do everything. We've got players like Madueke who's kicking the ball out at the goal line, and you just think, no, this isn't the time for that, Nonny.
Yeah.
Anyway, we've got to bring Zanzi on because he's
the word that you bring it up. I'll bring it up when Zanzi comes on. And you say hi.
Zanzi. How are you, Zanzi?
Oh, I tell you what, spring is here, actually, isn't it? It's been really nice outside as I was smacking my head against the brick wall. Hello, Gary. Hello, curtains.
Yes. No, one thing, Dan, that you said was thinking. And I believe when players are thinking, they're slow. Because you practice,
need them to be. You need
practice
them to know
all
each
week
other.
to play a certain way based on what you're expecting to see that week, right? That get the next game. All the coach has done all the thinking for you in practice to give you everything you need, all the information you need. Now you react to whatever you see because you know what, teams might not do the same thing the coach has said, but in most cases they will because they've done their research.
But also
too busy thinking, we're always slow, and you see that on the pitch sometimes when you're thinking. Arteta's screaming at them a lot of times, and you're like, didn't you practice? Didn't you say this in practice the other day?
Well, listen, you have to also say this, like, if you're hoping that Arteta's going to tell you how to win a game, you're not taking responsibility. Champions take responsibility. Who were the guys out on that pitch who went, all right, forget what we've been told to do. Give me the ball. I'm driving at the goal. Confidence is a massive part of anything. The confidence went out of them. They didn't have a game plan. They're tired, fatigued, and making mistakes. I'm going to go through some of these comments because there's some emotions are running high, and I knew they would. We all knew they would. Idris Adam says, are you getting worried, Dan? Genuinely, yeah, I am. Of course I am. And maybe I won't be tomorrow, and we are still 4 points clear, and maybe a good result against Leeds. But Malt Licky Texas says, I do not see Arsenal ever winning the Premier League with Arteta as a manager, which is a sentiment that you're not alone in feeling. And he hasn't done it so far, so everything's behind you. And just when you get to a point you go, oh, this season's different, they behave the same as they have in previous seasons. And there's no point in me constantly sitting here, or any of us constantly sitting here and saying, believe, if... fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Fool me 3 times, someone's got to check me. Do you know what I mean? At this point, it's like, all I can think is that we end this season with a Champions League or a Premier League. Today won't matter at all. But if we don't, it was because of days like today. And it's out of our hands now. We're watching this team. We're giving them everything they can. Maybe we're a little bit too anxious as a fan base, and that's transmitted. But again, I think if you have players like Roy Keane on the pitch, they don't give a shit what the fans are saying. They go and win every tackle. We were slow to every ball today. Our passes were sloppy. We weren't sure who was where. The changes made it all more confusing. I'm going to go through these comments. Makosi, too emotional. They're allergic to silverware. Get ready for each competition to disappear one by one. Let's hope not. There he is. Anthony Weir's big arms. Blue Savannah eyes. Dipped in Sherbert Herbert. Earth Ernie Vader. It takes me longer to say it now than to read out your comments, but I love you to pieces. Hi, Dan. I can take a loss, but this game hit home. We were poor and there was no stability in the team. It was a manager. I'll be dropping Zubamendi against Leeds. Hello, Gary, and bye, Gary, by the way. Anthony! And then we look overcoached and running out of ideas going forward. I agree with that, AFC. I kind of feel like that's what I was saying as well. The system is an attacker killer. Dan, pass the side over. I'm on new side, and now we're on Thatcher's vintage. Got 2 more cans of that to go. Might even go through it tonight. Volder penis to Arsenal. I don't want any. Oi, you Bristolian, found a case of Magners. Not giving any to Dan after Saturday night. I loved it. It's not a fan base's fault whatsoever. We're just tired of watching the same movie year after year. I'm not here to blame the fan base. Of course, it's not the fan base's fault. But what I'm saying is that, well, it's the same old argument, isn't it? When the fans don't sing up at the stadium, they say, oh, the fans are contributing. But the fans will say, well, hang on, if you don't give us anything to sing for, what do you want? This is on these players and this is on this manager, and he has to do whatever it takes to win. Now, I know that we've got sort of first world problem syndrome at Arsenal, and we are still 4 points clear. But it isn't like we won the 2 games before this. We drew 0-0 with Liverpool. It was a shitty game. And we drew 0-0 with Nottingham Forest. We had chances that we didn't take. We've had really good cup performances in between. But the Premier League's important. And we have just given a massive fillip to Manchester City with Mark Gahey. You know, they played against Wolves. They were average. Congratulations on being an uncle. Thank you. I'm a funkle. There he is, a signature. Evening, fellas. Tiredness cannot be an excuse, though, especially with the squad we have now. I really hate the word excuses. You know? Like, haven't you ever failed to achieve something because you've just not had the tank? You know, when I see people who are falling short of a marathon, it's not an excuse. It's like people give their best. I think today there was a really pathetic moment where Mourinho, after they scored their second goal, was kind of geeing everyone up, going, come on, guys, come on. And it's like, it didn't look, they all looked sad. They looked sad. And I don't mind you looking sad at the end of the match, but I can't stand seeing you looking mad with 30 minutes to go or sad with 30 minutes to go. That's where you go, right, this is on me now. Arsenal will be 7 points behind City again. I think that's flawed logic and maths. Arsenal will have to do what City and Villa did when they lost and start winning again. Let's be honest. I think it's a sense of emotional fatigue. I think so. Bro, if you want to bring big trophies, you have to play under pressure. Don't start blaming the fans. Pressure is the top. If you don't want pressure to play for Brighton. Wait, when did I blame the fans? I'm not saying it's the fans. I'm saying that... Actually, I said the opposite, Social. Pay attention. I said... You can't blame the fans for feeling like this is deja vu. You can't. I'm not sitting here going, you know, this isn't the first game we've ever lost or the first title that started to fall a bit wobbly. I would feel better about it if this is the first time we were going for a title. I go, no, come on, he's done really well so far. But I look back to the Villa games, the Brighton games, the games where we just didn't show up, and I feel like this is being repeated now. So I don't feel that the fans are to blame. You've got to give us something. We've won nothing in 6 years. You've got to give us something. Yeah, we're doing well, but we are doing well and the race isn't over yet. If your horse is winning and it starts to pull up a little bit lame with a third of the race to go, it's all right to say, hang on a minute, I'm starting to worry here. But I did not say, and I have never said, that it's the fans. I'm saying, I've said everything else, to be honest with you. Big up Zanzi. The case sounds great. Yeah, Lord Dan was after those ciders he drank last night. So if City draw or lose their next Premier game, what happens? Well, they've got some tough games coming up, but let's focus on us. Boy Tendio, we've got to go away to Leeds and we've got to win, and a draw isn't good enough now. We've started using up our lifelines because we're Villa and City are 4 points behind us. It's not one chasing, and Villa went away today and did a good job at Newcastle. Do I think they'll hold on? I don't know. Makuzi, also this explains why we're concerned not winning the games we should have. It would have afforded a bad day like today. These players, manager cannot take the pressure. It feels like that. That's no one's going to be able to sit here and tell me they're definitely coping with the pressure. Don't be classless slags. Smash the likes and subscribe. Well said. There she is, Rosie. Fun dabby, Rosie. Good evening, Hobag and the original Homer. You heard this?
Donuts.
Do we have any links to jump on? Absolutely. Wait there.
Yeah.
There we go. Just popped into Gary's show. Just tumbleweeds in there. Ouch. He's nice, isn't he? If an Arsenal player...
anybody who joins, I tell them to come over here anyway. So
yeah, we're linking live. This is the beauty of satellite systems. If an Arsenal player cannot be fired up against Man United while Arsenal is sitting on top of the table, what game are they going to be fired up for? Well, we've seen them fired up for games, so I don't think that's necessarily fair. And Ben Tattersall, ha 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 ha, Arsenal are shit. Yes, everybody else is just a little bit shitter. And definitely some mental fatigue players look off. They do. You can say that. You can look at it and go, right, players we've seen better. Tiredness, why did you not start the bench players then? That's poor management. Social, I feel like sometimes, and I'm just going to be, I believe in being scrupulously honest here. I think sometimes you don't really listen to what I'm saying. Like I'm not disagreeing. We're not disagreeing. Tiredness, why didn't you start? I didn't want him to start Timber. I didn't want him to start Jesus. There's loads of players I wouldn't have had. There's players, our squad depth is only really useful to us if we make sure that everybody gets enough game time so that the top players like Rice and Saka aren't being overused. You can look at Saka and say he's brilliant, and you can also say that he has 3 assists this calendar year across all competitions. It's probably not the level of output you'd get from him if he was in the best shape of his life. Right, where are we? Talking, this team would beat 2008. Oh, no, that was just silliness. Emotional fatigue, more so than mental, I agree.
Nobody actually really... Okay, go ahead. So.
No, what were you going to say?
No, people... I don't know who said that and why even that was brought up. You can say it after the fact, maybe, but you can't say it in the middle of a season and say, compare any team to anybody. That's like comparing any player to the career of,
No, it was
any player.
it was on
do
the
that when it's
post-match
so active.
interviews where Wayne Rooney was asked if this Arsenal team would beat the 2008. He said no chance.
But then people ran with that, saying Arsenal fans were going, "Yes, he is. Yes, they are." And it's like
no one. I've said consistently, you judge a team by its. You can only judge a team on its silverware, right? Such a big dump of emotions that match that you can bring yourself down. Yep, I think we're all down. If you're not down, hope everyone's had a good weekend. Football aside from football, it's been an amazing weekend. City lost to Bodo, then won as a response. Yep. Was there a tifo display? Rice summed it up last week, and sadly, that's the case with his team. I don't know what you mean. Sorry.
Well, when he said those words after the game or whatever, he made he had left some flowery language.
Okay.
But you expected, I guess people were expecting the team to basically respond to that, and we didn't. The way we played didn't look like we responded to that in kind. So
Gary Neville actually summed it up quite succinctly for once. Yes, he said Arsenal too regimented, and I agree with that. I'll get the back four, get them regimented to know what they're doing, and let the rest of the people just go out and bloody play football.
Or at least have a couple of players that you just let go and play football. I mean, I do think Odegaard is constantly trying to think what he's supposed to do, and actually, he's not exciting to watch, is he? And then the players who are exciting to watch slowly become less exciting to watch. I thought Trossard was average today, which I didn't expect to. Right, let me bring on Bad Audio Bobby, but it doesn't look like Bad Audio Bobby. It's Bobby Terrible Audio, and he's got no picture. So,
hi chaps. How are you all doing after today's abysmal display?
Bobby.
Hello.
How are we all?
It's just shit, isn't it? It's like it is just a shit show.
I've got a different take on this today. I think we went through. I know I mentioned it in the chat that we had a big emotional dump after the Inter game. I think that was such a big game, and to G yourself up to go to Milan as well and carry all that out and really put on that performance.
Problem is, Bobby, like a couple of years ago, we were out of every. When we went out of the Europa Cup, as we were only focusing on one, we didn't play well. Now that we're in too many competitions, I think it all boils down to the same thing, doesn't it? Doesn't it all boil down to we've got to be prepared? A really great, if this was a movie, maybe this game wasn't just too important. Maybe they didn't get fired up for it. Maybe they just wanted out of the way. This is like, we've just beat these and we'll get on with it. And then we were surprised at how good they were. It was a bit like we were Apollo Creed in a Rocky film today. That's what it felt like.
I feel like I kind of agree with you to an extent, but I feel like us and City, neither of us took United lightly. I think United under Carrick are a lot better. You can't say Man City weren't G'd up for that game. I don't think it was a case of we were G'd up for that game. I think we both were. I think it was just a case of, like Pep Guardiola said and Arteta have both said, they were better than us today. And there's going to be instances where teams that we absolutely despise, and I promise you,
Heads must roll. I've got to get through somebody. I've just noticed we've got some people in. I'm going to get through these. Let me catch up with.
Sure.
I'm loving what you guys are saying. I'm blaming the players too. We lacked a spine today. Our first goal today. Now, I talked shit about Arteta's tactics, but our first goal today. How come no one talked shit about Arteta's tactic to prove that goal was? Listen, I think. You know what? I would summarise it as this. All the people going, we'll never win a title. And then there's people going, it was shit, but, you know, it's just one game. We'll find out who's right at the end of the season. We're not going to find out today. But I'm speaking from the heart, and I felt affected by that game. I think we all did. And right now, my confidence has taken a bit of a battering. Arteta is God. He cannot be blamed. Nobody thinks that's true. Clock Enders is here, all changed on that Zubi mistake. Yeah, it was such a weird thing to do. Rice was literally calling for the ball before Zubimendi played it back. It was just a stupid thing to do. But he's played 2,500 minutes, and that's the stupidest thing he's done. I think there's one other really stupid thing he's done, but that is the stupidest thing. Fans total shit today, utter shit. Did you feel that? Did you feel that transmitted in the stadium? Obviously, I'm not blaming, just before social tells me I'm blaming the fans. I'm not blaming the fans.
Was that before or after the Zubimendi? You know what I mean? Because I just like the.
I don't know.
I mean, was it like from the whistle? The fans were poor, or is that like there was a turning point in the game where?
I'd love him to answer that, so please do put that in the comments. The leader instills belief. I think, not every game can be an Al Pacino 1 more inch talk. I think sometimes as a Fergie or a Wenger, you don't say much at all. You go, guys, let's get this focus. Let's get focused. Let's get together. If Zubimendi passed it to Rice that moment, it would have been intercepted. Yeah, possibly. The play Zubi should have made was to get the ball to Timber. Yeah, I can't believe I can bet anyone in the chat Zubimendi will not make that mistake again. Well, I would hope not. Rice has set the perfect example last year against Madrid. Players need the freedom to make decisions. Yes, I agree with Jose on that one. Noni is absolute buns. Let's get a petition going. Also, I can't really blame Arteta if he's responsible for the current state of things. You know what? That is where we are, right? Like, for all of the people now screaming Arteta's shit, find it really difficult to explain why we are top of the league. But for all of those of us who want to give him loads of credit, you cannot pretend that people who are detracting from him don't have a point. Because right now, we have taken 2 points from 9. If that continues over the next 3 games, we will not be at the top of the table. And then it will be a legitimate thing to say we've choked again. I hate the word bottling, but I do think, I look at us and think when the pressure gets there, can't say we don't choke. More Liquid Texas says, since Arteta became Arsenal's manager, I've never really enjoyed Arsenal. You know, you never know which Arsenal is going to show up. The performances are unpredictable, boring possession football. Not true in the Champions League, though, is it? Major, this control possession way of playing is becoming outdated. There is a reason why Pep has deviated from that. I fully agree, and we can talk about that in a moment. I just froze my hands making a snowball. I love it. I think people are much too high-strung. I agree with you, boy, Tendi. I really do. But I think we were allowed to talk about it tonight. I do agree with you. My goodness, there's so many of you writing comments. Slow down. It's not the same movie, guys. I agree with that. Stefan Marcotti. Zubimendi had a nightmare. Even on the second goal, he was busy holding his hand to protest. I really hate the way we want free kicks all the time. Then there's Arsenal fans have spent 900 million over the last 5 years. What more does Arsenal need to deliver a trophy? Well, we'll see. We need to establish axioms for this. How good is the league? I know. Correct me if I'm wrong, but Arsenal have lost 1 game and there's a total meltdown. Rosie, very sensible, but it is what it is. Pep just remembered today he has no need to worry. Oh, he does. Congratulations, Funkle. Thank you. We're lucky City lost to United, Villa lost to Everton, and City drew. Well, we're lucky that we've got 4 points more than them. Seems like a bit of a way of not giving credit to the people who did it. Andy Robertson from Liverpool to Spurs. Not Idris, I love that you're back. No transfer talks for a minute, right? It's the first game of the season I felt we deserved nothing. No excuses. I agree. Roy Marsh, 100%. We're still 4 points clear, and let's not forget that United are only playing 1 game a week. True. All very true. I feel like you've lost a game and most fans haven't. I think, Rosie, I'm not trying to defend it. I want to come back to that point over the night. But look, it's all right. It's not that the fans are losing their head because we lost one game. They're losing their head because it's a game that felt like the Villa game. It's a game that felt like the Brighton game. It's a game that felt like the games that we play when it really matters, like Bayern in the Champions League. We just seem to not have any idea how to push forward or confidence in ourselves. So it's not all about this. But you're right. From an objective external point of view, people look at it and go, first world problems, guys. You're still top of the table. Dan, just imagine if Emery won the Premier League with it. Oh, fuck off. In our real lives, we don't get to fail as much as Mikel. We get fired or suffer heavy consequences. We don't get to run it back. Someone else takes your spot. Social, what's your point? Do you want to sack him tonight? Is that what you're saying? Do you think is it worth us talking about that?
That can't be true, right? Right? That can't be true.
It's full of shit. Listen, I've kept people for 6 years that weren't very good at their job.
You don't get fired for not being the best.
You don't usually get fired in real life because you didn't win the outright. You're not the best in the world. But it's just anger and resentment, and I feel it as well. So I understand where the emotions are running high. I'm miles away from getting through these. I'm sorry, guys in the chat. Maybe you guys can play Scrabble while I get through this. As they say, shit is about to get real. I agree, Jose. Harry Maguire was a blatant penalty regardless of the performance. Don't think so. I wouldn't call that. 3-2 is hardly a horror show. 15-2 would have been horror show if it wasn't a pen. Right, I'm so close to getting through these now. Mort Leaky, Texas. We've blown an 8-point lead before. A 4-point lead will disappear quickly. Possibly, but you can't base everything on things that happened before. I don't believe a Lee win reinstall title belief. I don't believe a Leeds win will reinstill title belief immediately. I see probable Carib over the final versus City. The only thing, again, City has Newcastle and LFC, so there are two.
I don't believe that is true at all. You're telling me that just if we win Leeds, then we have not restored what we needed to do, which is to get back in the winning form, which was the problem all along. We need to be able to see out games and win.
Hold that thought. That's what we're here to discuss. But you know what it is? This place is nothing without these comments. No offense to the three of you, by the way. You're all brilliant, but any type of fatigue is unacceptable. If you can't hack it in January, how are you going to handle running in April and May? Well, people don't, do they? I don't know. I don't know how to answer that. Awful performance from the team. The worst game of the season. I don't think anyone's disagreeing. Christ, all the woodwork tonight. Drop me out. Arsenal till I die. Cheerio, Rosie fucking facts go. Arsenal till I die is the best thing I've heard anyone say today. And look at this. Philip Randall. Where have you been? We've missed you. Rosie was talking about you yesterday. It's like you do this on YouTube and they appear, but I'm so grateful to you for the super sticker. It really does mean an awful lot to a channel this size, and it's great to hear you, to see you back. What were your thoughts? I love this. Keep the faith. Absolutely. Rosie, you're the antidote of optimism we need on a night like this. Oh, God. Eze looks rubbish. There's a lot of comments. Very good. Thanks, Rosie. How are you? How are we supposed to quad if we go out of a comp? We can't. In 22-23, we went out of all comps and just had the league. People started saying City had run out of momentum before Europe League. I've been saying for months now, play Nwaneri. Oh, it doesn't help that Nwaneri scored a goal in his debut, does it? We got complacent. Everything's always reversed for us. I find it bullshit. I disagree. Same for City. Right, I'm not going to get through all these comments. These you guys are just too busy. Kind of should have predicted it. So keep writing what you write. Oh, I'm going to say hello to Uslice. Good evening, guys. Really disappointed, but still focused. Credit to United for fighting performance. One mistake, turn the game around. I acknowledge the criticism, but let's not tolerate. Okay, so I'm going to come back to what happened to your camera, Bobby.
Oh, I've got my son next to me at the minute, so it's a bit.
Gotcha. Say less. I'm coming to you first, because you're the last one on. Please summarise where we go from here, but by starting by saying, will Arsenal win the league this season?
I'd say yes, purely because I think we've been very reactionary to any loss we've had, and I genuinely believe if we take things out of context today, the Zubimendi pass doesn't happen. How often does that happen in a season? Your most gifted midfielder makes a mistake like that. It doesn't very often happen. And in terms of the two wonder goals they struck as well, Obviously, we gave them the opportunities to get into the game, but they weren't actually that. They were wonder strikes. I know we were poor, but if you take those 3 unlikely instances out of the game in terms of wonder strikes and a mistake from one of your best passing midfielders in the world, it's a totally different game. We end up winning it 1-0.
I think I'm gonna disagree slightly. I mean, I'm not trying to be devil's advocate here. Does anyone? Does Zanzi? Do you agree with that? Sort of, if you took the 2 wonder strikes out, it's a different game.
Yeah, I mean, up until we'd scored, I thought we were doing all right. We had control of it, and as soon as we scored, we just didn't carry on playing football. And it was all compounded by the fact of very bad passing, and then Zubi doing what he did, and the man with the upside down head scored, and we just never really got on until they scored again, and then we decided to sort of pressure them a bit, but it just never looked like a.
So, Gary, what about you? Do you feel like take those 2 goals out from Man United, it's a different game? Do you think?
You know what? We've had to play with those margins all season. Nobody gets easy tap-ins against us. They always seem to be a wonder strike. You know, Szoboszlai, wonder strike, right? We played a couple games ago. Ray was able to make a save on a wonder strike, right? We've been playing many a game where you can go and go, oh my gosh, either it's a wonder strike or the goalkeeper standing on their head blocking everything. Those are the margins I think that's what we bring out on the teams that we play. They can't just come with their regular footballing levels. They have to push them up when they play us, and that's how a wonder strike happens, right?
Can I summarize then? Because I think I disagree. I think with the 3 of you now, and I. Let's have a heated debate. Here's the thing. I'm not looking at those 2 wonder strikes. If they don't go in and we're winning the game 2-1, but we could still be sitting here and saying that was not a good game. You know, we got away with one there. And tonight we didn't get away with one. But we did, like all the discussion points have been, we looked tired, we lacked ideas. The players look fatigued. I know people say, when you earn a lot of money, you can't be fatigued, which is just the weirdest thing to say, isn't it? But I don't think that it is just about those. I take your points that, you know, that we only concede wonder goals. We conceded 3 today.
But one of those were a complete mishap.
That's not a wonder strike from Mbueno.
That was just a mishap.
We basically rolled the ball towards our goal, and he just tapped it in. Come on. That's not a wonder strike.
Yeah, all right. 2 of them are wonder strikes. I think we can agree that they're very good shots. But like that exact position in front of goal, didn't you see it coming when Cunha picks up the ball? Aren't you expecting us to slam?
And then it's all. I mean, come on. That's not a wonder strike. We didn't those 2 strikes that they had.
I'm talking. Yeah, they're 2. The Cunha and the Dorgu. Dorgu's shot was lovely. Odegaard conversations need to be had. Okay. I really like that point, Mr. Kuzi. I think so. I think Odegaard conversations do need to be had. But here's the way I would start any conversation like that. I'm not going to take the floor. I want you guys to talk about this one. Odegaard does not look... He's not inspiring. He had 2 really good games. And now he has had 5 really not very good games. But whatever you want to talk about Eze, we've just let Nwaneri go. So whatever you want to talk about Odegaard, is Eze looking great to you?
I find it hard to give. I find it hard to give Eze even a smidgen of like, well, you know what? You didn't show up today for 35 minutes, so you're probably not the answer for us. I find it hard to be able to make that decision based on what we saw today. I think. When Odegaard came back, I just didn't think he can go and play, back to back games. I think he needed to be managed as well with his minutes. I didn't think he could give us that because when he came in, he couldn't really do the press for us. He can't really do the press for, a full 90 minutes and stuff like he has in the past, where he can give it to us throughout the game. So I kind of feel like he's still not 100% back. And for me, when he's on the pitch and he's pressing, we look much better. When he's not able to do that, guess what? We basically seem to So I kind of feel like, for me, I think it's more he shouldn't be playing as many games as he is. We should be utilizing the fact that we do have an Eza and allowing them both to kind of get minutes. Meanwhile, getting one of them back into form, and one of them will take the reins essentially. And that's what I think is what we've seen from what we saw today. I just don't think I don't think he's fully back. I don't think he's got enough time to recover. We talked about it already with the stress and the stress and rest and the tiredness. And it's not just tiredness physically. It's not just tiredness mentally. It's not just tiredness emotionally. You take any three of those, and then one day you're going to see something that's going to affect the way they play. So that's how I think.
Let me put it as simply as this then. You started Martin Odegaard for the game against, Kairat doesn't make any difference, but against Leeds away. Is anyone starting?
I would say Eze needs to get a start.
I'd say Odegaard, to be fair.
Yeah.
See? I think it comes down to Zanzi. I haven't heard from you on this one.
Well, looking at the way Eze played today, don't know. Looking at the way Odegaard played today, I don't know. I'd rather put Gary or Benny or you in, Bobby in, or
not
you.
Not me. I'm busy that day.
I got to do my hair. It's hair day.
Which
We'll get
one?
plenty of time with that.
I've got two, and today it's the left one. So,
all right.
Yeah, that day.
Listen, on stats, let's just go with stats. 30 minutes Eze, he played one key pass, better pass completion. Odegaard was just a bit shocking for a player that's supposed to be that skill level. Guys, I think this is a really good point from Jose. The Odegaard to Saka sequence is dead. It's definitely not firing. And we need other ideas. I think we can agree on that. Mr. Kuzi says, why the captain gets subbed off at 55th minute over and over again in big games? Mentality trickles down too. I think that's a really good point. Has anyone got a quick way of debunking that? Because I think, listen, when you're having a conversation, your captain shouldn't be the guy that you're, just playing back into fitness. Stick him on a bench. He didn't, I don't know who you play, but we've got other players. I thought Marino was the only player that came off the bench that looked half decent, and that's because he did his trademark bundle a goal in. So we've got a new person. David Ridgway, 5981. The performance was pathetic. We are losing the title by letting it slip due to the pressure. We have quality players. Arteta must take the handbrake off and play attacking football. I didn't think I'd hear the handbrake again this season. I'm a bit gutted that that's happened. Clock Enders, Rosie, not really, mate. If I'm being honest, hope you had a good day. Did you manage to... I'm reading out personal chat. What's the point in that? Look who it is. It's Benny. Berlin Benny. Hola, chicas. On my way back from Hamburg. Where are you, on a train? In Germany, it only takes minutes. So, Eine Jandrup, for Arsenal fans pinning their hopes on City games against Spurs and Poole, please don't. Listen, I'm not pinning my hopes. I'm just looking at City objectively and going, they don't look that great. They're not the sharks they were. I think we can still be as... we're going to need to pick up our feet a little bit. We're going through a patch of form. That was what Gary was saying. Normally, we expected it to be different games. I didn't expect it to be Liverpool, Forest and Man United. But anyway... Mr. sorry for the negativity, but the legit comments and questions. No, listen. Look, I didn't open the bar today expecting everyone to come in and sing songs and be happy. But I think we're all here together and we have to explore these opinions and we have to dust ourselves off and just sing for the team against Leeds, because this whole thing about whether we're ever going to win silverware from Arteta or not, just for me, it's a stupid argument to have right now. Nobody really thinks that Arteta's going anywhere. So if you're just saying we're definitely not going to win the league this season, duly noted, let's see if you're right. I've had all the banter from friends and family after the game, just joining in, laughing along, so it's DWT, don't waste a text. I seem to always be organising, lol. Oh, that's another personal comment. Just go offline, no need to lose our heads. We're still 4 points ahead. Arteta needs to fix it. True that. But your confidence in Arteta fixing it, surely it's taken a bit of a battering. Zanzi, aren't you feeling a little less confident than you were before the start of the game?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's a sensible... if we had been 20 points clear, I'd have still felt confident. But from 4 to 7 or 7 to 4. I don't think we're playing with a handbrake on. I think what we're doing is we're playing with a steering lock on, and it's going round in the same way, and people can see what we're doing and think, oh, we can stop that.
That's a really good point. I like that. Good analogy, I'd say. Yeah, I mean, the handbrake isn't but it does feel like, I don't know. I hope that if we're going to get to the cup final and find ourselves 2-1 down with 20 minutes to go, that we have more about us than that, because that's what we're looking for. If we're games that are coming up this season, there are still games that can be really tough on us. Yes, we've got a slightly easier run in, but we've got to play Chelsea at home as well. They'll have their tails up.
Yeah. If you go way back in history to something like the Roman army, when they first appeared on the scene, they were unbeatable because they had a system in the army and people just couldn't cope with it. And then the Gauls came later on and thought, all right, if that's how the Romans always do it, we're going to do this and see what happens. And they did that, and they
Are you discussing the Battle of the Teutoburg Forest and Vercingetorix?
Places like that, yeah.
Yeah, it's true. I think there's a lot to that. There is I'm the last of all of us to really claim to be any kind of tactico, but I am really fascinated by the way that people have nullified possession football by man-to-man marking and reducing space. I noticed that playing against Chelsea, Cucurella just followed Saka everywhere he went. I think it comes down to belief, maybe more than tiredness even, because I think if you really believe, you can summon up resources. But I like I think there is an element here where our brand of football, I was watching the game today, and even before the result was as disappointing as it was, I was thinking, even if Arteta wins the Premier League this season, he's going to have to radically rethink, because this approach is to some degree getting found out. Am I wrong? How about you, Bad Audio Bobby?
I can't agree with you there, to be honest, because I think we're saying the same thing, to be honest. So we're saying that it takes wonder goals and very minimal mistakes to get past us. So on the instances when that doesn't happen, we're winning games via dominating games, controlling possession. And maybe they're not the most entertaining wins. Maybe they're not the 2-3-0s that we desire, but we can win those games. So before, when you said, oh, if those things don't happen, we win this game boringly. But that's what we've been doing for the majority of the season. And I think where we all need to maybe shift our focus is we're always going to, because we've not won this under Arteta or won anything significant under Arteta beyond that FA Cup, we've got that fear, can he take us over the line, which is rational. But if we were being chased by just Villa, I don't think 4 points would be 4 points ahead. We'd still feel very confident. The fact that it's Man City, which has been the best team in the world multiple times over the last few years, is what's given us that fear. I don't think whether we were still 7 points ahead after this game that we're still that confident, or if we'd drawn today and it was 5 points, I still feel that there's a mental barrier, which is because it's City that's chasing us. And I think it's Arteta. I don't think Arteta can do any more. If you brought in another manager.
I just, sorry to jump in, but that's such a strong point. No, I just want to make people think it was my point by speaking over you and claiming it as mine. The reality is that, isn't it? It's just like we've got.
If you had your way, you would have put 4 of your faces in front of us while we were talking.
No,
and look,
Gary, if I had my way, we'd all be able to see Zanzi and we'd be able to see Bad Audio Bobby. No, but I love the point. I think that when Rosie's really kind of sensible in saying, what are you guys worried about? When I see non-Arsenal fans online going, fucking hell, man, you're 4 points clear. What's the drama here? He's not a shit manager. You're top of this and you're top of that and you're in this and you're in that. We know that we have it's like being in a relationship where the person cheats on you the first year and then promises not to do it again. Then they do it the second year and then the third year. And now we're in the 4th year. I don't think it's wrong for any one of our fan base. But my only thing with it is whether I trust him or not, I'm not getting a divorce till the end of the season. right? So talking about Arteta, and people love to come on to football chats and predict the future. And I'm not against it, and you could well be right, especially if it's binary, especially if you're saying it's either we're going to win it or we're not going to win it, and you guess one and you're right and you look like a genius, or at least you think you look like a genius. I don't do that. But the reason I don't do it is because no one's going to care that you told us so. And more importantly, if you're sitting there saying we're not going to win the league because he hasn't got us over the line, it's a good chance you're wrong. And if you're sitting here saying, look, we're in a pole position, we've played really well all season, we're definitely going to win it, there's a good chance you're wrong. So I'm just on the fence, and I'm talking today from an emotional point of view about how I feel. And I hear all this about it takes worldies to beat us and things like that. But I'm also seeing something which looks like fatigue. I'm also seeing something which looks like a lack of ideas. And I'm fully hopeful and confident that we will beat Kairat. And then if we can beat Leeds 4 or 5-0 at Elland Road, the football conversation will change. But this, not maybe it's not fair to call it a meltdown, but this fear that Arsenal fans have developed has not come about without help. You know, we have been guided to feeling like it's all going to happen again. Look how many of these comments, you know, Mr. Kuzi, Mukuzi, 4 points is actually 1 point because we have to go to Etihad and haven't won in ages. Fair. You guys believe at the beginning of our downfall of the season? No, I don't think it's that. I just think it's a conversation point. But there's so many of the comments saying, we're not going to do it, this guy's a fraud. And what's our answer to that? That we're top of the table? Because if that's our only answer to it, we get a draw at Leeds, and it's a point, and the point ain't enough to make anyone feel comfortable. But then you got people like this, like joking. I haven't seen you in here before. Welcome, I think, but we won't win the league, fella. Here's my question to you: how do you know? How do you know? And I love this from Benny as well. You're assuming City will win their matches. We could win the league this season, like Liverpool won the league last season, because. Your point, by the way, was so good when you were talking about if it was just Villa behind us. I'd still be a bit worried because I was not expecting them to go. I wouldn't expect them to go and beat Newcastle away, and they did.
But surely you'd have enough confidence with a 4-point buffer with it just being Villa.
It depends, you know. Like I mean,
they've got no pedigree of winning the league either. So
no, but it's a 4-point lead when you've taken 2 out of your last 9. Yeah, 2 out of your last 9 when.
But then we're neglecting the fact that they've both had serious dumps of form as well during the season.
That is a point that I'll stick to. The confidence you can still have comes from the fact that there isn't some great white shark chasing you down. It's people limping all over the place. The whole league is unusual results that no one's expecting. 1 minute Chelsea are in a title race, then they're out of it. There's a lot of seesaws and there's a lot of up and down. And I get your point. I think it's fair. Right now, my life savings can't go on Arsenal winning the league. I just don't feel that confident. And I feel like it'll happen, but I want to understand why these nights come up, why we see these nights. And I also want to say hello to some of the new people here. Rosie, I've got visions of you organising... Oh, no, I'm not going to read that one. Shit. I need someone to read this out for me, really. Hello, Catherine. Fantastic. I think Catherine's joining us from the esteemed Don't Waste a Trip, our sister broadcast here on YouTube. United deserve to celebrate. They earned every right. I'm referring to those in our fan base using this to project. Fair. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't hate any Man United fans. I don't hate Man United, and I'm just sick that they predicted it. They were talking about beating us, and I was like, what are they on? And now I'm sitting here thinking, what am I on? Gave you the first one a fucking platter, more like. What? It really was. Look at this. Chris Nicks, we're getting loads over from your show. Mark Gay signing for City is bigger signing than people realise. You guys are favourites. Both Man City fix themselves on the back. It's going to be close. Yeah, but we can still fix ourselves as well. So we're all in the same boat, aren't we? Zubimendi did the same thing against Spurs, which cost us a goal. Don't remember losing to Spurs. That's not the goal. These are serious convos about Arteta selections. Yeah. I mean, I think there are serious conversations to be had about the Arteta selections. Shall we do that now? Because I don't think we've touched on it, really. And, guys, just keep posting. If I don't read your comment now, just write it again. I promise I'll get to it. It's brilliant to see so many people. it's kind of predictable that we have this many people that want to come together in a pub and bitch about Arsenal. And I'm counting myself as well. You know, when we're beaten into 3-1, everyone's off watching Walking Dead or whatever you're up to. Now, we're here to console each other. I really want to see if I can nick any more of your ideas, Bobby. What was your starting lineup going to be today?
To be honest, it would have been exactly the same as Arteta's. I don't think there's enough. I'm going to put it this way. We're all reacting in this way after a United loss. City also lost to United. If we're basing this on the fact that City will chase us and win the league, did we have a more convincing match against Manchester United than City did? I think we did.
Okay, I can't agree with that. I'm not basing all of this just on a performance against City. I'm not basing it against Man United. Sorry, I'm basing it on what I watched and problems I perceived in the players. I saw 5 or 6 of our players have really bad performances. And I don't think it was caused by the opposition. I think it was caused by us. I think we were the architects of our own downfall. So much as I take your point and say, look, Man United are resurgent at the moment. They beat City comfortably. I think we played better against them than City did. I don't disagree with that at all. But leaving out the fact it's Man United, what if it had been Leeds? What if we'd lost to Leeds like that today and they'd scored 2 worldies? Would that change your view? Would you feel like, oh God, there is something wrong?
I can't feel like there's something wrong because we just beat Inter in the fashion we did. Yeah. Because I don't think there's anything wrong with the selection because I think the squads are that evenly matched. If you put Odegaard in over Eze, there's no guarantees, or Eze over Odegaard, there's no guarantees. Saka over Madueke, Saka's obviously a better player, but I don't think Madueke's going to make you lose the game. No. There isn't enough of a shift in the squad for us to say this has made us lose this game. I think I'm going to sound really cliche and cheesy here, but I'm going to say it's just one of those days where we've been outplayed by a really resurgent team. We've had an emotional dump in terms of such a high, in terms of you've won the Champions League group. That's huge. You just won.
Oh no, we have. Sorry, yeah, no, we have. You're right.
Like,
killing me. I think if Bayern win by 8, can they not still do it?
They still can't do it. We've won it.
I like.
No, if Bayern hammer their team and we lose to Kairat, Bayern would be top.
That's what I thought. Yeah, there's a goal difference.
The thing is, we don't care about that game anyways, because like you said, we're finishing top 2 regardless of what happens. I mean, we lose. It will look bad because I don't think we should be able to. We shouldn't be playing that more. But I think we've subbed 10 of our players and beaten a better team than Kairat. So it's for us, if we were able to substitute out 10 players, which I don't think we can do because I don't even think we have the numbers now, but we should be able to manage. We still be able to manage a game against them. You know, if you watch them play, you see that they may hold up for about 30 minutes, but eventually they just, they will wear down, and we do have better players than them.
With the mood I'm in today, we're not going to spend any more time talking about what if we lose to Kairat or Tyrak.
Well, it was brought up, so
I know. Listen, that's not me saying you shouldn't have discussed it. I'm just saying I'm drawing a thick line under that one now, going like, we are going to take our frustrations out on them. I'd love to know what goes through the minds of some of these players. But teams are seeing that they can have a go from distance. Jose, I hope so. I hope the only shots anyone takes against us are from distance. You don't expect them all to go in. These are low XG games. 2 decades and counting. Thank you, Joe. Keep counting. So far, your comments have given me the impression that 2's probably going to be hard for you to count beyond. But, just keep use thumbs. Dan Glazer's out. I love the way he starts every message with that. From Manchester United, don't do banter. I look football logical way. Yeah, I mean, you're brilliant, and I'm really pleased for you in as far as I possibly can be. I'm gutted for me though. So Maul, where have I or anybody in history ever said Arteta till I die? No one's ever said it. This is such a straw man argument. These people out there going, you just love Arteta. I don't know where this idea comes from. 2 strikes from the exact same spot. I look football logical way. It's the only way to look at anything. It's frustrated me the way we dropped back when we scored both times. We need to keep pressing for that second goal, get another goal. This is a. I think we could discuss this. Is there an appetite to discuss this, Zanzi? Do you feel like there is something about us that we take a lead and then we somehow just want to hold on and sit back?
I don't know. I mean, for that first goal, I just think we just lost the plot. I don't think we dropped into the defensive formation, but we would just. I thought start of the second half, because I was still predicting that we were going to win 4-1, because the only goal that they had scored was from Zubi's silly pass to the bald man. But from the start of the second half, I thought, that's it. We're going to do Villa, and we're going to really go at Man United, and it just never materialised. Our passing was absolutely
It wasn't good. It was over. Yeah, it was. What about you, Gary? Do you feel there's something in our? I think Zanzi made a really good point there that I still would have felt we'd be in control. But when you give a team like Man United something to play for and a bit of belief, it looked like they would. After we scored, it looked like they were expecting to lose, and then we hand them a way back into it, and we give them unnatural hope. And
I mean, I was watching the game and kind of following along with some of the stats. Kind of, you look at what you see and you look at the stats, and they kind of give you the answer. We're up, close to 75% possession, controlling the game like we usually do. And that dropped to where it was pretty much close. It was almost 50-50 at one point, or 55-45 at one point, which is
finished at 60-40, didn't it?
But it was that period where it dropped considerably after the first 30 minutes. That's when they started to look like they were going to have a little bit more fun than we were, and that's exactly what happened. So yeah, I think you can see it in the way that we play. As soon as if you see our our forward line basically pretty close to that, there's a small gap between our back line and our front line in defense. Guess what? We're giving up possession. We're giving up possession of the field, essentially, right? We're giving them a lot more of the field to work with, and we get punished for it every time. That's why I'm saying, like, we're not. When we put pressure on teams, when we're putting pressure on them, we're pressing from the front. Nah, they don't get much. They gave us the ball right back, and that's why our possession stats are so high. Once we set back a little bit, they just come forward, keep going forward, and keep coming forward. Make sure a little mistake here and there, we lapse a little bit. That goal that we saw, those 2 goals that we saw today, look eerily similar to that Neto goal in the Chelsea match last season, I think it was, right? Where he scored late in the game to tie that thing up. Look eerily similar. Our back line is dropped. Our midfield is nowhere to be found, and there's nobody there to stop the attacker coming close to the 18-yard line. Bang, bang, shot from distance, and they score. I mean, it's one thing if it happens once, but we're seeing it consistently now that we're giving up that space right in front of the box, and they're taking the shots and they're teeing off on it. And you can't give players. We've seen Noni score from there, so we know it can be done, right? And we're talking about even better players taking those shots now, and they're scoring them. High, low, doesn't matter. I mean, one shot was low, one shot was in the corner, the top corner. I mean, you can't do that. You cannot give players that much time in this league to shoot. They have they can shoot, and we got punished for it today because of it, right? And I said it's repeatable. So when I see it again, I'm like, it's not a one-off. It consistently happens, which means we're putting teams in that position to where they can make those plays. And guess what? They're coming through a lot of times, and not often, right? Not often, but they're coming through. When we make a mistake, we get punished by our mistakes, and that happens to most teams. But the way we play defense, it doesn't happen a lot, right?
No,
on our bad days,
we're not conceding a lot of goals. We're giving up what I get all that, but. Emile Peltier, brilliancy. Still big favourites. We must play faster and with more variation, get the ball forward faster, use the quality we have. I really thought when we signed Eze that there would be an opportunity for him to just do what he feels is right, to play, like the Arsene Wenger systems where they go, right, you know what you're doing. that's where I think these handbrake comments come from, and this structured, organised, possession-based football, where I think we're being really hopeful if we're saying that going forward only good goals are going to get scored against us. But maybe that's where we all disagree. Maybe I'm wrong.
Can I just say something about the stats of today's game? Mm-hmm. Our average stats this season have been 85%. Man U's have been 83.
Sorry, what do you mean by that?
Passing accuracy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Today we had more possession, but we were like 90 passes shorter than Man United's. So Man United still retained a good passing of 83.7.
So we passed the ball 441 times. They passed it 356.
Oh, hang on a second. No, I'm looking at the wrong fucking side, aren't I? Sorry.
Yeah, no,
it.
We passed a lot, but it's what you do with the passes, isn't it? Here's a question from Charles. I always love these. How much of this statement is true, Dan, Gary, Bobby, and Zanzi? How much of majority of our players to win fouls or corners rather than break teams down? I'm not saying a fucking thing about this because I don't actually.
We create the corners because we put the pressure on the other team. They have nothing but to do is to block our crosses. That's why the ball ends up out of bounds. I mean, that's
I get it.
That is
how I feel.
Because we have so many corners, we've gotten good at it. That's not our fault that they can't defend it as much. But we're not playing for corners. I'd rather put the ball in the net the first time.
I would love to see. Listen, I bet on corners. I'd love to see us go for more corners. We don't get as many corners as people think we do. It's part of a narrative. The narrative becomes lazy. People think it. Man United have scored 1 goal fewer than us from set pieces this season. So it's not like anyone's talking about them as a set piece FC. Okay, so maybe on another evening, I need a bit of decompression from this weekend. My teams went 2-3 with wins this weekend. This game being the most frustrating. Yes. Eze has been rubbish as well. Chris Antonio, I can't remember if I said hello to you, but it's great to have you here. Hi. And Eze hasn't been great. Miss, where we got? I'll be dropping off this soon since it's just frustration and more frustration. I can't say anything to keep you here if it's going to be this. Join us on Tuesday where we will be talking about more cheerful things, I hope. Yes, mark my words. I love it when people start off with this. Mark my words. City beat Liverpool at Anfield, the same stadium they've lost and drawn. Do you know what? I'm a sports bettor. I'm a person who, I've heard people tell me predictions. You just forget them. Mark my words. What you mean is, in my opinion, City beat Liverpool at Anfield. I don't share your opinion. Time will tell. If you do think that there's a reason, if there's a reason you're confident City beat Liverpool at Anfield, maybe it's because Liverpool have been playing dog shit and lost to Bournemouth yesterday. Maybe you think that City are resurgent. Whatever it is, I'm not interested in the prediction. I want to hear the workings out. This is the problem I have in football analysis, football punditry. People feel like they just come on and go, "We'll never win the league," and then you say, "Well, why do you think that?" It's because, "Well, I just don't think we'll win it." And you go, "Well, then it's not an important opinion, is it? It's not worth sharing. You're allowed to think it." I'm not going to try and talk you out of it, Makuzi, but you have to explain why you think that City, who've lost 5 games this season already, will go to a stadium they haven't won at even when they were winning 4 Premier Leagues in a row and win. You have to give me a reason to understand. I can't just go, well, Makuzi said, mark my words, so I have to, mark my words, you don't know. Odegaard needs to be dropped, I'm sorry. Don't be sorry. Rice, Zubi and Odegaard simply not working. Rice and Zubi are this one makes me want to come to you, Bobby, because of what you were talking about the Inter Milan game. Because look how quickly we've all forgotten the Inter Milan game, right? People are ready to say things don't work that have worked to get us to the top of the table. How do you feel about that comment?
It's absolutely madness. I think we've got to take this in. I keep on saying this. I think this game's provided. We've gone under certain games and we've had massive overreactions. I think losing to Manchester United, and I know all of you said you don't hate Manchester United or the fans. I do very much dislike a couple of Man United fans, to be honest with you, but not on a personal scale.
Brothers.
But yeah, and but I feel like we've got to take it into context. If we're in a position now where we've lost to, it's hard to say this, but I think this United performance and the one prior are freak performances under freak circumstances, and this happens across the season. Now, when you weigh it up, City also lost to the exact same team. I know I covered this point before, but I think Odegaard,
I thought
Rice
you were
and
doing this by
Zubimendi.
stealth. I thought you were going to try and get this point in again. Like it's like
Yeah, sorry, I've got a tattoo of it coming up as well. Odegaard, Rice, and Zubimendi are an incredible midfield. And I think people need to remember that Zubimendi and Odegaard have a lot of history. And I think once that develops and that chemistry builds, I agree with Gary as well in terms of there is a level of fatigue with Odegaard. And I think it's all been worked out because we've got the Kairat game this week. I don't think Arteta played him with the intention of burning him out and playing him again against Kairat. I think he's got some time free. I think that gives Eze a bit of time to develop his flow. And people saying, oh, Eze's not the guy. Eze's not the guy. Give him a bit of time. We've obviously, unfortunately, he won't go away with England this summer. But I think that gives us extra time.
He might, I'm not like imagine. I don't think he's out. Yeah, he might do. But listen, I tend to agree with you, and I think if we were having a conversation about if this was a separate stream, and perhaps we do that this week, do a couple of separate streams dedicated to deciding whether looking at past experiences of of Odegaard, Rice, and Zubimendi, for every performance like tonight where it didn't really work, there's a few where it really did. But that's why I'm focusing. I don't think there's anything about Rice that we're going to change or want to change. I really like Zubimendi. He's had a bad game, but overall he's been really good and arguably our best signing. So I don't really want to get into does that midfield work. I disagree. I do want to take up on the point that Philip Randall made there, which is why does every Arsenal fan think City are going to beat us comfortably at the Etihad? We win that game and everything changes. Absolutely. I do still think
100%.
I do also still think that to the point where people are going, mark my words, City will win at Liverpool. It's like, what does that mean? I can't take that to the bank. I can't pay my rent with mark my words. If you're betting your life savings that City are going to Anfield, then you're doing it from a completely different frame of reference and you're talking about Arsenal won't win the league because we haven't done it before, because City have not won at Anfield. And that is a big game for Liverpool. And I don't know who's going to be in charge. And obviously they played like dog shit yesterday. But to predict that City go to Anfield and definitely win, I'm not even sure they beat Spurs. But to have the conversation around the midfield, I think requires us to be more level-headed and look at the times it's worked really well. And obviously something's worked really well. We're top of the table. But we can definitely have the Odegaard conversation now, can't we? We can definitely.
I'm pretty confident that City will beat Spurs at Spurs.
Well, they never do. That's their bogey team. I mean, if you're looking at past performances, the game that they don't look forward to playing Spurs. They've got 1.2 point average from the last 5 trips there. So a draw is predicted with that one. I predicted that that Spurs and Liverpool will both get a draw against City. So now they've only 2 points from the next 2 games. It takes a lot of pressure off. And Bobby, I completely agree with you. If this was just us and Villa, I'd feel a lot calmer about it. But I don't like being up against. I'd want this to be a 2-horse race by now.
I think there's a couple of things as well. Like when we look at this and from a wider picture, I think we've got to bear in mind all the scapegoats that everyone's placing in here. They're saying Odegaard shouldn't have played. He needs to be dropped. But then no one's screaming out for Eze. They're saying he's been a disappointment. Then if he played Mourinho like he did earlier in the season and we lost to Liverpool, so why did he play? There's not it's like Doctor Strange. There isn't an instance whereby he can keep everyone happy. All of these are very minor differences. But then they say, oh, Arteta's not good enough. So however you maneuver these like a Rubik's Cube, it doesn't make I don't think it makes a huge difference. I think Eze coming in might make a minor difference, but I think it's just a case of no. I just think we've just got to accept that this is one of those days, and it might worst case scenario. It's one of those seasons, but I still believe we are stronger than City. I think I'm going to say it here, even after this game, I think we win this league. I really do.
Yeah. Okay, but I love to hear it, but I'm saying you can't be as confident after this game as you were going into this game. I don't see how you can be.
No, I want to say I'm as confident, but I think I talk about the emotional dump at Inter, but that emotional dump at Inter also gave us some advantages over City because they're now having to play away games for the second leg. If you look at the fixture congestion, once they get into that, they might actually have to pay an extra leg as well. So that win against Inter had a lot more value than their loss against Bodo in terms of fixtures.
Yeah.
And
But then they signed Mark Gahey and Semenyo. I don't know. It's a tough one.
I was going to say also, if I can.
Yeah, please.
I mean, everybody's looking at City, and you're looking at us. I mean, we've lost once in the last eight games. They've lost twice. They've drawn 3 times. We've only drawn 2 times. So if you're going, everybody's looking at the form and stuff. They're not really blowing anybody away. They're not.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, but then you've got this. This is Arsenal needs to go to marking and inform. I don't think that's going to happen. But this one, look, City will batter us. So when they batter you, it's a fact. It's definitely going to happen. So now what do we do? Obviously it's a fact. You've said it. You've said it out loud. You spitted it. Joking, you get it, mate. I like the name too. Let's be honest. Before United's goal, we were having a fairly good game. Listen, sure. There are lots of things about what you're saying. I mean, this is why I love having these conversations in this place, because it isn't all knee-jerk. It isn't all reactionary. I knew coming in here that as pissed off. No, I wouldn't say I was pissed off. I was just disappointed. Like when your parent tells you, I'm not angry, I'm just disappointed, and it hurts a bit more. That's how I feel. I feel a little bit like when I'm saying to one of my stepsons, I'm just disappointed, because I know it's going to get to them. I'm disappointed that we didn't have more about us to get the job. I mean, but I am also aware that in the immediate aftermath of a game like this, your feelings are running high and you want to blame someone. And what I've seen over and over again is that people need a scapegoat. They need to come in and go, Arteta's useless. And then when you say to them, well, he's doing all right for someone who's useless, isn't he? I mean, we just turned Inter over, Bayern Munich over, Atletico Madrid. We're beating teams for fun everywhere. We've lost 3 games this season, but on the third one he loses, he's the worst manager in the history of the world. But we're all in this emotional state because effectively we're trying to predict what's going to happen in that Leeds game away. Because none of us give a shit what happens to High Karate. But Leeds away... Leeds, we've given them something to go for. Leeds are no pushovers either. Mr. Tom, I'm not saying that in case you're watching on repeat, by the way. But we're all allowed to be a little less confident than we were going into the Man United game, aren't we?
Can I give you all a bit of confidence, though, off the back of Arteta's press conference? Any manager who's typically lost in that manner, such a significant game, gets asked as many pressing questions as Arteta did today. Even the Vieira question where he was like...
he handled that well, didn't he?
He handled it very well. And I think what that says is not so much that he's PR trained, but I'm saying the composure he's got mentally. He's like, okay, yeah, I'm going to take this on. I'm not going to fire back like Amorim did or Pep's done many of times or Slot's done against Carrot. He spoke about it and he said, look, I'm taking this on board. They're entitled to their opinion. We respect them. And it wasn't a case of just being dignified. It's somebody that's not lost his head. And I think that says a lot. If you can sit there and take on what's happened in that game and rationalise it and give a response where you feel like you've not been good enough and not... Us as a fan base were looking at scapegoats. He didn't do that. So I think that...
If you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you, if you can trust yourself when all men doubt you and make allowance for their doubting too, is that what you're saying?
Absolutely.
100%.
I think I actually said that originally. Am I joking?
I think that's one of mine. Some prick nicked it off me, called himself Roger. But yeah, no, I definitely wrote that poem. And it's available on merch. I'm gonna I'm gonna do less talking over the next 10 or 15 minutes because this is a good panel. But I do just want to go through before I sort of open it up to you guys to say what's really on your mind. You'll never see Joe King and me in the same room like Batman and Bruce Wayne. Yeah, you're the same person. Joe King, stop lying, replies to yourself. You made a really good point there, Dan. Yes, I thought you were excellent, Dan. That's brilliant. I respect you. If you've come on here with 2 different accounts, thanks. Sub twice. Seriously, we are different humans. Oh, good. I believe you. We're a third of the way. That marker from the best ever Liverpool. Listen, we're doing all right. It's gutting to lose, but we are still doing all right. Is there anything here? Philip says, have to go, but we'll try and catch up with everyone another day. Love to see you on Tuesday. Absolutely delighted you've been here. Thank you so much for being back, and have a good rest of the evening. Arteta had his time, in my opinion, a potent time to move on. Joking. I think you are joking, but like, what do you really think we're sacking the man who's... Oh, come on, man. Are we going to have to... Do you see a point where we're going to have this Arteta out conversation before the end of the season? Because it's not even a conversation. If we end up this season with no silverware, I'm Arteta out. And I say it with respect. I'd shake his hand and go, you've been brilliant, but there's something missing. Clearly, we've given you everything you needed. And I just want to say, before you go, you've just done us again. Thank you so much, sir. It really does mean a lot. Keeps us from being a costly hobby, I promise you. Arteta has plenty of time and money. Yeah, everyone can criticise Arteta. I know this, right? I'm going to open up to the floor. I want say what you need to... Did I say sack Arteta now? No, but you keep talking about he's not good enough. Like, there's any point in talking about it. Like, Arteta's had plenty of time and money. Although, Makuzi, I am taking seriously, you're not the same person as joking. Okay. I don't think I would be doing a better job than Mikel Arteta. I'm just going to say that off the top of the bat. I know a lot of people think that football's really easy. It's that Dunning-Kruger effect when you don't know what you're doing, everything looks easy. So we're not going to have an Arteta out conversation, but certainly if he doesn't win silverware, he's got to go. Leave all that to one side. I've heard from you guys. I want to just hear, going around the room, I'll start with Zanti, on to Gary, then Bobby. What do you really want to talk about? What is it that you really want to say to the audience, to people listening in the bar today? Zandy.
I feel really sorry for our trophy cabinet cleaner who was sacked a few weeks ago.
At least let Arteta finish the season before crying for his sack. Yeah. Makes sense, doesn't it?
Quickly get Gary to say something while he can't.
Yeah, Gary's on you. I'm going to go and get another cider. It's a 3-cider day for me, I think. Hang on.
Oh my god! I don't know if I can top that, Zanzi. You got me there. I don't think I got anything better to say than what you just said. Yeah, it's disappointing. That we don't have a guy that can clean out the cabinets now. That the season. I guess the season's over, so I guess it doesn't matter, does it? Right? I like to. Like I said, we've had these 3-game stretches in many a season. I like to believe this is the 3-game stretch, so we shall see. We do need to respond. I expect the team to respond like they have done all season. Nothing else to expect there. Will the defense look the same? I doubt it. The way that Gabriel was reacting to what was going on out there, I have no doubt that he will definitely not do that. Rice hasn't been happy for a while, so he's going to come back and respond. So I think as a team, it's going to look different the next time we go out there and play in the Premier League. Leeds, we should be able to do the business against them. We've got the team to do it, so I don't expect us not to. So hopefully that gives somebody, if you don't have faith, I think we should. Can we play like that again? No. Our team's going to be able to hit those type of shots on us every game? No. So you know what? It just came at this time. Everybody says we're not going to win every game. Then when we don't win every game, they complain. So line, which is it? So
I love this though. Did I say sack Arteta now? Hang on, let me find what you actually said. Well, up here you've said Luis Enrique said he wants a new challenge, and Arsenal certainly need a challenge. So we're chat and breeze here, are we? Here, Arteta has had his time. We have been patient. Time to move on. So you said, Joe, I'm just quoting you. If in life someone can make you annoyed by quoting the things you said, maybe think before you say the things you said. You said it's time to move him on. Do you mean time to move him on another time, or not time to move him on? What are you talking about? Because now you're saying, did I say sack Arteta? Because saying it's time for him to move on, do you mean it's time for him to resign and want to move on? I don't understand. Help me understand you. I'm trying to understand you. Did I say sack Arteta? No, you said no, it's time for him to move on. City and buying, so why can't we? Eze and Odegaard are clearly not at it. Who'd you sign? Is there a player out there that you bring in? And I don't know, man. In the summer, we need a new start. So you don't want to sack him, but you want a new start in the summer. Okay. Do you know what? It's my fault for reading some of these comments out. These same man telling me he wouldn't ever finish higher than fourth. It's the same pricks tonight that are on the streams all over the place. Thank you for being here, by the way, everybody who's here, because you could be listening to somebody go, I told you so. This is a top 4 battle now. Arteta's going to kill Gunnosaurus. There's going to be a nuclear explosion. It's just people who prophesying doom. I love economics, right? And there's a saying in economics, which is economists have correctly predicted 5 of the last 2 recessions. If you spend your life predicting shit's going to go wrong, you can't be wrong forever. But we are still top of the league. We're 4 points clear and we're winning the league, right? Is anyone among us that doesn't think we're winning the league? Should we have a little straw poll?
I think we do.
Yeah.
No, I thought we all think we can win the league.
Can I ask you all kind of an offbeat question?
Yeah.
If we were to sack Arteta,
Oh yeah.
just say in a parallel shift, and does Fabregas win us the title this year?
No, stop it. No, Chelsea player, can't have him.
So, who is everyone clamouring for to
Jose
give
Mourinho.
us?
No,
Jose
do you know
Mourinho.
what? And Anthony, if you're still here, I'm looking at you on this one, son. It's the easiest thing in the world to say sack the manager. And then as soon as you go, okay, well, all right, take that seriously. Right, who do you want to bring in? They go, well, it's not my job to work out who we bring in. You go, no, but it's fundamentally important, isn't it? And then they always go, if you're in a bad relationship with a woman, you don't have to have another one to go to before you get out of that relationship. I go, no, but in this context, what you're talking about is not having a girlfriend, is not having a manager at Arsenal Football Club. Is there a world in which if we just didn't have a manager, we'd be doing better than if we have Mikel Arteta, given that all of the players in the squad signed to play for Mikel Arteta and all of the players have signed contract extensions, and barring nights like tonight, where there will be some stern words, I hope, in that dressing room, people will talk to each other and say, what the fuck happened today? And let's make sure we bounce back. And the histrionics at this club are just never going to go away. I think we have to create spaces where intelligent people can converse, and unfortunately you can't keep out all the noise. But look, taking a step back, like I think, Bobby, like you've done really well so far, we just battered into 3-1. On Tuesday, people weren't saying sack Arteta. We lost a poor game to Man United. Not very different from the poor game we lost to Blackburn under Arsene Wenger in 97-98. There's only one league title winning season where we haven't lost any games. 91, we lost one game. That was an incredible performance. But most of the time, when you win the title, you have these games. Like Man City lost to Brentford at home. It was an aberration. These things happen. It's how you bounce back from them. The reaction of our fan base is bewildering to fans outside our fan base. But then they haven't lived through the last 3 seasons. So I can see both sides of it. But it is us discussing, mark my words, it is us discussing what's going to happen. And when you try and work out what's going to happen, you use as a reference things that have just happened. I think it's kind of nonsense though, isn't it? We're top of the league by 4 points. Man City aren't exactly flying. We lose one game and it's all doom and gloom. To be frank, we've been out of ideas since we started the set piece mastery. We're still ticking over though. Yes. I think that feels fair, doesn't it? Lucky, hope so. Do you feel about Carrick on a full-time position? Looks good, doesn't he? He'll probably get that job, won't he? Just on the strength of these 2 results.
Roy Keane said the same thing today as well. He goes, do you sign him just 2 games. He goes, he's won 2 matches, and
No, that's just. Hang on, though, right? Because you could say that. I really don't like Michael Carrick. He's been manager of Man United for what is it, 5 games? He's beaten us twice. The fuck is that? Get rid of him. Sack him. Lucky. Put something in his tea. Joe King starts with, I respect your opinion, Benny Ogden, but I disagree. Arteta has failed for many years. Yes, it's pure and utter failure. Because in the lives of people with such high standards, people like yourself, Joe, who have many trophies, I'm sure, you either win or you don't win. They don't go, right, well, you can still say he's a good manager, right? You can still say Mikel Arteta's a good manager. He might not be as good as you want him to be, but last time I checked, he is still top of the Premier League table. And the arguments we seem to always get dragged into about Arteta seem to overlook anything he has achieved. It's a good question, though. Why do people expect City to win all their games when they clearly aren't winning all their games? I know. I know, it's the point, isn't it? Maybe part of that is the pressure. Like, Gary, I know you're going to rush off and leave us soon. I don't know why. I can only assume it's something Zanzi said. I should never have put you.
You know what it is? My the curtains are getting a little bit, so I can't leave them on too long because then I just can't do that. But no, I need to go. Thanks for having me on, Dan, Zanzi, and is it Bob? Who's that behind the screen there?
Bobby.
All right.
Bobby, terrible audio today. And the audio
or
is
Barbie,
fantastic.
whichever you prefer.
Yeah, everybody in the chat, thanks for joining us. And I think one of my subscribers was asking how long you've been watching football. And I'd like to say Dan's been watching a lot of football. He's seen Arsenal win many a trophy.
1983. I don't know who was asked, but if 1983 Southampton at Highbury. So I don't even have lost track of how many years that is. 43 years of watching football. Cool. I don't get in all these up and down moods the same way young people.
All right, thank you again, Dan. Everybody in the chat, enjoy, be lucky, and be nice, and have a good football chat while I'm away.
Thanks, guys. See you Tuesday, hopefully.
See you, Gary. See you, Kurt.
Take care, Gary. Have a good one.
But now, Zanti, you're all right to be deflated now.
Yeah.
It's not the same, is it?
No.
I'm going to put myself in between these spinning discs of wisdom that you two represent. Should I go through some of the comments, or is there? I don't want to. I know that it's difficult reading out all the brilliant comments and allowing you all time to speak. I'm
just going to quickly pop on what Bobby said about if Arteta was suddenly sacked.
Oh right, yeah.
Who would you go for?
Luis Enrique. Next question.
Who?
Luis Enrique every day. I want Luis Enrique.
They were saying Cesc Fabregas.
No, that's just nonsense. Cesc Fabregas. No. Don't be silly. I don't
I
want to go
don't
to another.
Think there is an option out there, to be honest. There isn't, because I don't want to sound
Arteta sexual,
like an Arteta obsessive or anything like that. But I think the Arteta to anything else, there isn't a proven entity that's for sure that's going to win at you. But I think when you've endured so much, why on earth would you give? Don't get me wrong. I think, who knows? Look, the Amarin to Carrick things obviously worked for them to some extent. You wouldn't have thought Amarin would have got those results. You wouldn't have thought Fletch would have got those results, and something's clicked for them. Would have Fabregas, and I am just putting it out there as a devil's advocate opinion.
Yeah, well, you can take it back. It's a silly one.
I don't think it works. I'm a huge Arteta fan, but I think there's people in here that would think if you shock the team into a run of results that win them the league.
Yeah, that's
how,
kind of.
Could you imagine how gutted you would be? You got sacked.
I'm looking at it from a holistic point
clear
of view,
of Man
right?
City.
It's not happening. So it's like Marvel when I used to buy comics.
And this happens.
But when I used to buy comics, right? The Marvel series has a comic series called What If? What if Spider-Man fought Wolverine? What if, show me a club.
I can't hear you, Dan.
Have I lost you all?
No, I can hear you.
Okay, thank God for that. Bobby.
Might just be me needing to refresh.
Bad audio, Bobby. But I'm going to address his point by saying I'm not happy to talk about the possibility of Arteta not being our manager, because it's like the most pointless thing to talk about. Even if I was one of these people. Can you hear me now? Hear me
I
now?
can. Apologies. Sorry, I was
No,
just
it's all right.
talking over you then.
No, you weren't. Well, you were a bit, but I forgive you. So the point is this: look, it's just such a. Look, Marvel Universe used to have a comic series called What If? What if Spider-Man fights Wolverine? What if the Avengers all had different superpowers? And I think it's like, look, there are so many people out there who've decided that Arteta's definitely not going to do it. They said at the beginning of the season it was going to be a top 4 battle. They find it really difficult to give him credit for being top of the Champions League, top of the Premier League. They say he doesn't take the Cup seriously enough, and he's been to 2 League Cup semi-finals in 2 years. The kinds of things that Unai Emery would be held aloft for. This idea of if we're having a conversation about Arteta going, it isn't likely, possible, or really intelligent to sack him with 5 months of the season to go. We just see how we are at the end of the season. I am saying now, though, I will come out and say this. I will think his time is done at the end of this season. End of conversation. I don't see what else I can say about it. When people want to say, if you ask me, if Arteta quit to take the Real Madrid job, not that he was sacked, but he just went, I can't turn this down. I really don't like Arsenal, and I'm fucking off. I've done all I can to keep you back, but I'm going now. Then for me, the manager out there I've always wanted to see how good he'd be at Arsenal is Luis Enrique. But he doesn't come with a guarantee of anything. Managers don't come with a guarantee of anything. Don't forget, I watch a lot of Bayern games. Up until Tuchel, I was pretty much a Bayern fan, as well as an Arsenal fan, but Arsenal first. When Nagelsmann was sacked, it was a similarly stupid thing to do. Nagelsmann was second in the league, but they still had the Klassiker to play against Dortmund. He was in the quarterfinals of the Champions League, and they sacked him, and it didn't go better for them, just for the fact of bringing Tuchel in, the current England manager, the best manager England could get. So this is a silly point, and I thought we'd got behind. Whether you think Arteta's going to win the league or not, we'll find out in May. Wait till May. If he doesn't, let's sack him, unless, of course, he wins the Champions League or everything else, and then we'll have a conversation. But it feels like the same gloomy bastards want to have the same conversation about how he's not good enough now because they're deeply worried that they might be proven wrong. There's no point in us deciding who's going to win the Leeds game, having an argument about it. We have to wait and see. There's not enough wait and see in football. I don't know who replaces Arteta, but one of the things I think of, which I don't hear talked about very much, is all of these players signed because they bought into Mikel Arteta's vision. Not necessarily saying that's the only reason they want to play for Arsenal. I'd get crucified for that. But he's the one that sold them the plan and how they were going to play and who they wanted. To suddenly just get rid of the manager, I don't think the players are clamouring for that. I don't think the players, because we lost one game, can be said to have stopped playing for Arteta. So if the players haven't stopped playing for him, the board still like him, what are we doing? We're just having a conversation for the sake of it. The stadium was full today. It might have been nervous and full, but there are still lots of reasons to believe that we're going to do this.
I agree with you wholeheartedly, obviously, and I'll just put it here, just to play devil's advocate, because we both do this.
Yeah.
If we're going through a run of we've got, 15 games left in the season? Yeah. If we were to stick with Arteta, which we are doing,
yeah, we are,
and he gets a couple of poor results in the next couple of games, or the option is to get a new manager bounce with anybody and we go on a run of 5 games, which would you prefer? And this is that comic book series, What If, by the way.
Yeah, I don't know. I've just resigned myself. Look, start of the season, I predicted Man City would win the league. If you'd said to me Arteta goes, I'd go. It's probably for the best. But I've seen progress. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm sticking with it to the end. I just want to see. I'm like, at this point, there's a certain morbid curiosity, isn't there? Aren't you just like, would it be fantastic to see him win the Premier League and have all of these people who said he definitely wouldn't back on the chat and go, what happened? Did your crystal ball have a dent in it or something?
did Oliver Glasner get us over the line?
Oh, fuck off.
The parallel
Yeah, I hope so.
universe, whether.
No, but you could argue for someone like Carlo Ancelotti or, that kind of Chelsea mechanism where they bring in, oh God, what was his name that won the Champions League, the first ever Champions League?
Di Matteo.
Roberto Di Matteo. Yeah, maybe it can happen, but you don't. Listen, I say this a lot because, I've spent time, owned a gaming company, spent a lot of time. I like betting on probabilities. I've assessed probabilities to the best of my ability. The battle is not always to the strong and the race is not always to the swift, but that's how you bet. Right now, if you're a businessman, you keep Arteta. I'm going to try and work out, I'm going to try and work out a poll on YouTube. I have no idea how to do this, but I want to rattle through some of these comments, and then I've had some guidance on this. Go watch the stream on YouTube, then press the plus button. It's all right. I'm going to try and work out how to do a poll because I think we want a poll, but I'm also going to go through some of these comments because I genuinely want everyone to get their say. Boy Tendia, league is tough. Everyone will lose a game here and there. Everyone will draw a few games here and there, and it's not easy this season. City had it very easy this season, so they won in the competition. Like I said, we have to wait for the end of the season, then we have to judge them better, 100%. Centurions and all that. Right, this not time to give up. Lucky Singh, thank you. Hold up, Salah had like 20 goals this time last season. Liverpool was scoring goals. Fair. Joe King gets it. You two are the same person. Leon Davis, Villa have easier running. No, they don't. Statistically, no, they don't. No, they play more teams that they get fewer points from. I can give you the exact numbers on that. Takes the words right out of my mouth. You two play. Either get a room or you're the same person. It's a safe bet for Arsenal winning the league. All this other stuff is just fluff. Thank you, Boy Tendy. You always keep me. Dan, your mic is low. Is it really? Zanzi, is my mic lower than usual?
No.
Okay, good.
You're still as noisy as ever.
You're doing the opposite of Miles Lewis Kelly.
Dropped a sub and a like. Thank you. Now I like you again. Tony, it's over. It's not, We're not winning the Premier League. Everyone who backed Arteta should be ashamed of themselves. Arteta out now. Give Potter the call and salvage what we can. Do you have work tomorrow? Because you shouldn't really be this drunk if you have work tomorrow. I hope you're not a pilot or something. Saka has been bang average lately. Eze rubbish. Odegaard predictable and slow. This is based on facts. Chris Antonio, I don't necessarily disagree with him there, I don't necessarily disagree. If our race is over after losing to United, then I guess Villa are winning the league, yeah? Fuck that. I can't live in that world.
No.
I do not want to live in that universe. Is this manager out of his depth in the deep waters? Probably, because he's never been here before, but I think everyone is until they win one, right? It's very hard what he's doing. Thought Gyökeres looked all right when he came on. All right? I don't know, actually. Gyökeres looked good, to be honest. I've caught up with... Oh, my God, look at this. Either because you guys have stopped writing because I've stopped reading out or because I've just read through. Did he actually just say that? He didn't, did he? Sack Arteta mid-season and get Potter in. I know, it's brilliant. Hands down, the worst take I've seen in a while. What even is that? You should be ashamed. Horrific take. Remember, we attack the opinion, not the person, but... Sometimes it is hard because that's just a fucking Potter. Unless you're talking about Harry Potter, in which case, yeah, fucking let's do it. I think it was one of the people that said Gyök should start. I thought he should start, but what the fuck do I know? There are too many average, underperforming players in the squad who are top of the table. Saka, Eze. There are some underperforming players. I'm not going to pretend there aren't.
That's
I think a lot of our attackers are average.
Though, the way you wrapped it up, there's too many top underperforming players at the top of the table.
Yeah, well, I added that bit because I just thought it's a lot. It's easy to take criticism, isn't it? But then go on a night like this where you go, we're shit, everything's broken. Yep, it's over. It's not, though. If you're the sort of person who quits 4 points ahead, I mean, none of us, if we were playing this on Football Manager, would be crashing it, would we?
No.
Do we think issues with players or the management? Both. Everyone. I think the issue is with me. If I'm honest with you, I think the issue is me. I think I'm living in a fucking simulation that made me an uncle, a very, very, very proud uncle of a very beautiful young boy who's a bit skinny right now, but like in our family, that will not last. I'm so proud and so happy. So the universe went, oh, hang on a minute. There seems to be a massive imbalance there. Fucking, what's going on? Dan, he had a really good stream last night, enjoyed himself, had a fantastic day walking on the, went on a beautiful hike. I know Zan's going to ask me where it was. I have no idea, but it was beautiful. And he's just had a beautiful nephew born today. Yeah, give Man United a freak goal, will you?
I can imagine your nephew's parents saying, "Look, you're a bit skinny. We sending you to Uncle Dan's."
Yeah, they don't
being
even have to
fattened
think.
up."
My sister knows.
Yeah.
He's getting fed. He's going to be a proper little porker. Sub, guys. Did he just call me dumb? Am I missing something? Or was the last time we won the Premier League over 2 decades ago? No, what I think I sort of implied you're a bit obvious because you were going, it's 22 years since we I hate it when people come into Arsenal streams and go, we haven't won the league since 2004. Have you just started supporting Arsenal? I was there in 2004. My best friend Sean, who's sometimes on here, his fucking nephew was born on the day we went invincible against Leicester. We called him Unbeatable Jack. My nephew's born on a fucking day we lose to Manchester United. That's how I know there's a simulation going on. And if you don't want people to think your ideas are dumb, don't have so many dumb ideas. Maguire was a blatant penalty despite being crap. Don't know. 2004, there we go. You literally just did the thing I said I hate. 2004, we last won.
Can I quickly butt in about that penalty?
Well, I'm going to disappear then. 1 second.
My understanding about penalties is if it's stopping the ball possessing further because it is a shot which he blocked, then it is a foul and it's a handball. But if it's just bounced off your hand and fallen down onto the ground and it wasn't going anywhere, then it's not a penalty. But that is my take on penalties. Oh, everyone's gone. Is everyone still there? Am I on my own? Can anyone still hear me?
I don't know what you've done to Bobby. Like he's back. There he is.
Oh, I thought I was on my own then.
You were. You literally. Well, there's people in the chat you could have talked to, but United weren't even in the game until we gave them a goal. Disgraceful performance. I don't like the word disgrace. No, I don't like it. I think people use it too much, but I understand you're upset. Man said Potter. I'm still giggling. Brilliant. I know. Could you imagine us singing a song about Potter's arm? Oh, shut up, everyone who said Potter. Joking. Who called you dumb? You're the smartest person in here. Signs are that there's one person talking to themselves. Please talk about Jesus. Let him start from the subs bench from now on. Yeah, I think. Is there much to say on that? Either of you two?
I thought he had a very poor game, and I thought Gyökeres played quite well actually for the time he was on.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I just think he played incredibly well midweek.
Yeah.
He scored 2 incredible goals. Gyökeres came on and scored. It's hard to develop an argument. I keep on saying the same thing. The Inter game wasn't a week ago. It was a few days ago, and he scored 2 goals. And same again with Gyökeres. There's an argument either way, isn't there? You can't. We can't immediately say, oh, the team that was top of the Serie A, he's suddenly gone rubbish after scoring a brace against them and coming off.
I do find it funny though, in the fact that Jesus played straight after scoring 2 goals, but Madueke didn't play straight away after scoring 2 goals, and Eze didn't play straight away after scoring a hat-trick against Spurs.
You're right. Cause
I think it's a bit of an oversimplification, though. I think there are a couple of things happening at once here. One is that, yes, Jesus scored 2 goals, but also no one's been that impressed with Gyökeres so far this season. So I think it was just a natural that being dropped, maybe.
It's so crazy how the narrative changes over such a short amount of time. Like, I was listening to the Sky Sports punditry. A few days we were talking about what a dream scenario it is that you've got 2 strikers who can score.
I know. But you get swept away with things like that. If you look objectively at our 3 strikers, we've got Gyökeres, who hasn't been what a lot of the people who never saw him play thought he was going to be, and it probably was never even possible. I don't think anyone could be that. Then you've got Jesus, who, as much as he looked good against Inter, we know that you don't get 10 games in a row out of him. He's not a prolific goal scorer, and he never has been. And then you've got Kai Havertz, who may not play again this season. I don't know. So would really rather we had Victor Osimhen on the bench, but we don't. So it is what it is. And with all that being said, we are still top of the table. Stop being so negative, Bobby.
I actually had a dream transfer request for this window.
Who's
It
that?
was the mysterious Mr. Prowse, Mr. Ward Prowse. I think if we could grab him on a free transfer, purely for set
Bobby,
pieces.
I'm actually starting a live series for this channel called Hear Me Out, and I'm encouraging everyone with the wackiest opinions to come. And
This is one of my wackiest ones, I'll
This
be
is
honest.
wacky.
I just think for 15 minutes left, you need some set pieces. Rice isn't there. Who knows? He's not all that, but on a free transfer, why not?
Okay. Wacky. Jesus was meant to stop us score third goal. Don't know what that means. The host, lol, he said I can only count with two hands after reading my two. No, look, Joe, let's get this right, okay? Coming into, look, bear in mind, I'm a 52-year-old man who's been going to the football and following Arsenal since 1983. I don't need you to tell me it's been nearly 2 decades since we last won the league. Were you expecting me to go, oh, gosh, yes, now that you mention it, I think, yes, it has been a while since I've been in a parade. And then when you follow it up by saying 22 years is 2 decades, I know that as well because 10 years is a decade. So you're not, that feels like a dumb thing to say. I'm not tracking that one back. Say something I don't know.
I'm just surprised that we haven't gone unbeaten again since being unbeaten.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought we would. 2005, I don't think we were that bad, actually. I think we might have been almost as good in 2005. Just didn't happen because Chelsea. Cunha, Bruno, Fernandes, Lissandro, Martin. I know Red Eye Gooner, if you're watching this in repeat, I know you don't come on as much as you'd like to. We miss you. He was begging us to sign Cunha, and when Cunha scored today, I was like, there's one for Red Eye. If only we'd signed him, he wouldn't have been able to score against us.
Opposed to who? Madueke? Would you all take that now?
No, I think Cunha was ahead of Madueke for me. Yeah, of course.
But even now, when you look at it retrospectively, would you take Cunha over Madueke yourself as well as Anzi?
Yeah. I would. Well, maybe not because personality. It's a difficult one. Joking. Merely making a factual statement sounds so like, but I was just saying a factual statement. It's like saying, when the sun comes up, it gets light. There's a time and a place to state the bleeding obvious. Please don't do it here. That's all. The arrogance of Arteta not to prioritise a striker after Aubameyang left is mind-blowing. And yet, Mortlake, Texas, we scored 91 goals. This narrative that we always need a striker to get goals, when we scored more goals under Arteta than we ever did under, Arsene Wenger or Emery. Dan, I think Gabriel Jesus, Rice, Supermendy will have hard talk tonight about the third goal you gave to us. Yeah, I think it's just one of those. I think there was just sluggishness and tiredness. It's okay. I'm an older fan. I get to see us win Premier League titles when we had proper mentality monsters like Vieira. Yeah. Mate, I was at every one of the home games for the Invincibles. And that doesn't mean that I need you to tell me how long ago it was. 2004. It's 2026 now. 22 years. That's just over 2 decades. And when you said that's nearly a quarter of a century, I was like, yes, it is. What else do you want to do? Zanti, good to see you on the show. Yeah, always. But if you don't follow Mikel's instructions, you don't play. That's why it's always different you play. You know what? Social, I agree with that. But that is kind of what being I think it was probably the same. It's definitely the same for Pep Guardiola. Do either of you up here with me think that Arteta is too rigid in that sense?
Nope.
Yes.
100% nope.
Oh, there's a heated debate coming.
Sorry,
we
Bobby, go
scored
on.
Sorry, mate. We scored 2 goals today. We conceded to wonder goals, if we were any less rigid, would we have conceded more and lost by a bigger margin? That's what a less rigid team does.
Okay, it's a really good point. But I feel like I have to say what you just said is impossible to contradict. However, I think it's more a reflection of the way we score goals. We score goals in a very like the Cunha goal and the Dorgu goal. We see them once in a blue moon. We saw them Madwecki at Club Brugge, didn't we? People don't take shots from outside the area, and I get it because it's statistically a thing to do, a stupid thing to do. But at the same time, we don't play with the flair that I think most of us would like.
Because there's a risk to that, right?
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. Of course you are. And it's one versus the other. We have a manager with an idea of how to play, who is a bit of a control freak, who does insist on his standards and values, and it has taken us to the top of the table. If it doesn't keep us there, he loses his job. So it's on him. If we finish second this season, he ain't going to be here the season after.
Can I ask both of you, just an extension onto this, Sanzi, really quickly? By being less rigid, does that mean we ask our players to defend less, or forward players be waiting for the ball? Do we? And I just don't get it. I think when people say, "Oh, he's too rigid, he's too stubborn, he's too possessive over his control," I watched my son play Sunday League and my daughter today, and the one thing they do is they're told to work, and if you took that out, I promise you they would have conceded more than they did, because it, even at a 12-year-old or a 9-year-old girl's level, that happens. It's just crazy. And even tracing back to the Aubameyang comment, where people said, "Oh, he never replaced Aubameyang," he shifted his focus from having Aubameyang, one person to be replaced, to creating the best defense in Europe. So the season we had Aubameyang and he just left, how shaky was our defense? And then he placed everything into DMs. He fixed every single gaping hole in our team. And now we're almost there. The last hole is basically the striker. Yeah. And he's done everything that we wanted him to do. So I just don't get how being less rigid and conceding more makes us a better team.
Okay, I think that's a really good point, and again, eloquently put. But I think we are in danger of talking about completely different things and sounding like we're talking about the same thing. I fully agree with you that we are an incredibly hard-working team, a team very much like George Graham. When I watched Rocky Rocastle play for George Graham, he had to do so much tracking back, and you think this is like a flair player. This is like one of the greatest midfield warriors we'll ever have. And he spends a lot of his game watching the ball fly over his head. And there was a rigidity to that George Graham setup that ended up winning us league. So now all of the people you would think would hate that kind of rigid, turgid football are totally enamoured by it, because they go, well, it won us things. And I think that there is an argument, and certainly, please correct me if I'm wrong, Bobby, but I sense from what you're saying that you're saying, look, really well-structured teams that know what they're doing and play together and work really hard have a better chance because they're built on the foundations of good defences, evidenced by the fact that we don't concede many goals. Even if we are talking about this after conceding 3 goals, you have to look at it and go, that's an anomaly. That is not part of a plan. That's not part of a plan or a pattern. But most people aren't having that conversation. Most people aren't invested in that conversation. They just feel really bad that we haven't won the league in 3 or 4 years. They're sick of getting bantered by their friends, and they're looking around for why this is all happening. And the easy explanation is some of the things that don't stack up to scrutiny. So talking about our rigidity, when we beat Inter Milan 3-1, I don't remember anyone saying too rigid. When we beat Bayern Munich 4-1 at home, or 3-1 at home, or when we beat Tottenham, no one was saying we were too rigid. I think that when players, there is a rigidity to it. I do think Odegaard is doing everything he's asked to do, and sometimes that possession-based football. It's a bit sideways. It's not quite risk-taking enough. We are risk-averse, but risk-averse is not necessarily bad. But when people talk about rigid, what they're talking about is tonight's performance where we didn't have flow, we didn't have movement, we didn't have running, we didn't seem to know how to break down a low block. We didn't do any of the things we most often do typically well. So something has to be to blame, and it is always going to be Arteta. And when you don't really know how to explain why we lost to a Man United team that's resurgent and just beat City, and there's an explanation in that in itself, when you don't really know how to explain how we could lose to them and still beat Inter, you come up with these things like he doesn't know how to, like we don't feed the striker, and you go, well, what stats do you have on that? Well, I don't need stats. Or, he ruins forwards. Look what he did to Aubameyang. And you go, okay, but all of that does not explain how we're 4 points clear at the top of the table. And there are not teams in that. We're not scoring one goal a game either, just to be absolutely clear. We do score goals, and they're not all from set pieces. But these become the narratives that we have to deal with. And so rigid just seems like another way of saying handbrake on. And it didn't make any sense when people talk about handbrake. It doesn't really make any sense about talking rigid. If people want to talk about whether Odegaard's in the kind of form I'd play him, I think there's a valid conversation there. I wouldn't be playing Odegaard in the next game. But like we've already touched on, who do you replace him with? Because Eze's not looked good either.
Zanzi.
Who do we place? I don't know. Whatever. Yeah, it's just a bad day at the office, and bad days happen at offices all the time.
Of course they do. No, I completely agree. I think all three of us can say that the rational option is not to, and the idea of, and I know you put it in a different way, how do we break down a low block, this, but Man United was so dangerous today going forward that giving up any more options, like there's a comment that Neville said, he goes, I don't know why he didn't just throw everybody on, all three of them, because at once and shift up the game. With a few minutes left to go, we rescued a point from a very bad performance, which changes the whole context. And then obviously we didn't, because we conceded straight after when we were attacking. So who's to say that the margin would have been bigger if we were to be attacking? And obviously we lost, but it could have been a bigger loss, or which is probably the more likely option today with the way we were performing. And that's probably not the most popular opinion, but if we didn't have that rigidity, we might have lost by 5-2. There was a couple of saves that were made, and
I thought their keeper made more important saves than
he made an incredible save, didn't he? Like early on, I thought it was an incredible.
Oh, really? Early on, the first while it was still 0-0.
Yeah.
It was kind of a reaction save. It was a really good save, but you kind of hope he's going to make it. Arsenal Joker, what about Villa? Great to have you here, by the way. Villa, I think we've all sort of touched on it. Like, Bobby, you made a really good point about this. It's like, I don't think anyone would be scared if it was just us and Villa.
I don't feel like I don't think we can criticise Arsenal for not getting over the line and having bad runs of
and then say Villa will win it. I know, you're right.
Yeah, it just makes no sense.
Yeah.
Emery's never won the title. He's never won La Liga. He's never won. And
he has won Ligue 1, so don't say he hasn't won the league. He's won Ligue 1. With Paris Saint-Germain.
With PSG, yeah.
I don't know if you've heard of them. They're a kind of slightly well-financed French team.
Yeah. To be fair, he kind of had the toxic version of PSG at the time as well, didn't he?
Yeah, it's terrible, yeah.
But I'd like to ask you both a question here. Mm-hmm. We're asking ourselves, Arteta needs to let the handbrake off. Can I ask you, who are these teams that play with the lack of structure that are at the top of European football? Where are they?
Ooh.
So these teams.
Malad, it is a leading question. Zanzi, don't answer that.
Mm.
It's a leading question. You know exactly the answer to that. Like, of course. Yeah, no, I mean, no, that's a fantastic way of putting it. But within... the first thing I want to say is I grew up under George Graham, was my first and best manager, right? The idea of telling him that he should play without a rigid structure, he would have slapped you, you know? Pep Guardiola has been the most successful manager of this century, and he's incredibly rigid. I mean, he didn't play Thierry Henry for 3 games because he drifted to the wrong side of the pitch. I am really fascinated by differences in managers. I would say to you that what you're describing is the age-old dispute between Johan Cruyff and Louis van Gaal. Louis van Gaal, very much structure. Cruyff likes possession, but likes to roll the dice and let stars be stars. Louis van Gaal doesn't believe in stars. And so what we have now is in Arteta, I kind of feel like he is much closer to the Louis van Gaal model, although he's schooled by the Barcelona that Cruyff created. All of these guys, Fergie, Cloughy, to some degree have a structure. But when you're looking at it, Carlo Ancelotti and anywhere he manages, it's like, I think there's a difference when you're Carlo Ancelotti and you've won literally everything and you're like even if I never win anything else, people are still going to talk about me for years to come. So I think looking at the world now, Vincent Kompany is very much in that structured, possession-based football model. The Pep Guardiola and Arteta and Vincent Kompany are all of the same mind. Maresca's of the same mind. It is the current trend. There was a very interesting Fluminense in Brazil were experimenting with a completely different style of football, which just unfortunately didn't work for them. There is an evolution coming. There is a change coming because change is inevitable. And I don't know what future football is going to look like. But at the moment, yeah, you're absolutely right. No manager is going, just go out there and have fun, guys.
So earlier on in the season, when Liverpool were top of the league and they were scoring a number of goals, and they were saying, you score X amount of goals, we'll score more. It didn't last. And look where Liverpool are now at this point in the season. And that's the team that just won the leagues. So they'd be most qualified to do that.
Yeah, but they didn't have a good transfer window. They couldn't get all the players they wanted in.
Yeah, James Ward-Prowse didn't arrive.
I really want to do a bit of digging into this James Ward-Prowse. That was so blindsiding. I can't tell you, but I do love it. I don't want to talk. Zanti, how do you feel about the whole kind of structured argument at the moment?
Yeah, you need structure, but then you also need freedom. So it's there's a fine point. I mean, I noticed today quite a few times when Raya had the ball and he's looking to throw it to or kick it to, and he didn't because there wasn't anyone doing anything worth throwing the ball out to.
So he had that one where
rolled it left
or right.
Like,
yeah, do you see that one where he rolled it while he's lying down? I like all that.
Oh yeah, but I think he did that because he's going to slide out the penalty area. That's why.
Yeah, no, yeah, that's what. Yeah, exactly. But still, good for him.
Yep.
Right. So Odegaard just needs to be honest with himself and hand the armband to Deckers or Gabriel. Will give us a better mentality, guaranteed, and it will free Odegaard from the pressure he can't handle. There's I don't find it easy to disagree with that.
He signed for Real Madrid at 14.
Yeah, he signed for them. He didn't play for them.
But if we're talking about somebody who can deal under pressure, we're talking about someone who, at the age of 14, signed for Real Madrid, the most high-profile player. I think that's cobblers, to be honest. I don't think you can say he can't deal with the pressure. I think.
Okay, let me try a different approach then, because I'm going to play devil's advocate. You can quote the fact that he signed for, he's an expected by everyone to be a wonderkin turned into the greatest player in the world. What has Martin Odegaard ever won? At Arsenal, he's only ever won a Community Shield. Fair enough. But in his entire career, he's won one Copa del Rey with Real Sociedad. Maybe that is what we're talking about when we say he's not coping with the pressure. I'm not trying to disagree for the sake of it. I'm saying I think that's a fair comment, isn't it?
But the same team consisted of Isak, also consisted of Zubimendi, also consisted of Mourinho. So that team actually went on, in all honesty, they all exceeded. But I just think the Odegaard argument, when we're saying about, without rambling on too much, but we talk about rigidity and all this kind of stock playing. We've got to understand that. I was watching a game today with two of my cousins who are both Liverpool fans. They were like, what is Saliba doing in the box? What is Timber doing in these positions? How many times do we see one of our defenders in the box, not for a set piece, but because they move invertedly and people understand how to do it? That is freedom. You can't tell me Saliba being in the box, getting a shot off, or Timber getting a shot off, or Ben White crossing it towards there isn't freedom. You'll find it very hard to find other clubs that have that many moments of freedom where they can trust their instincts to go like that, as we do.
I think your audio's gone. I know you've called yourself Bobby Terrible Audio, but it might be the jack for your. Are you wearing headphones or something? It's proper Dalek. He's gone again. I'm going to read some of these comments. What do you reckon, Zanzi?
Go for it.
On his day is unplayable. We just need consistency from him. I'm not sure who that is, but
I think they're talking about Odie.
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah, there he is. Bobby Terrible Audio. Speak.
I think it is probably my jack, to be fair.
It is, yeah.
It is, yep.
We've had too many of these days, to be honest. Have we, though? This is where I think you get no sympathy as an Arsenal fan, because we've had too many of these days. We've lost 3 games this season. Is that too many? I mean, isn't that quite a good ratio? We've lost 3 games this season in all competitions.
It's not bad, is it, really?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know how people are so upset about it. But I think it is. It's just a combination of many, many years of this. Not surprised if Villa win the league. You should put some money on that. You get 40-1 on it. If you genuinely think that Villa were going to win the league, you're going to make bare money. Bobby, are you there? Oh, God. So we had such good audio from you. But if you do have to make it, I think we're going to wrap up soon anyway. It's nearly 1:00. Do you honestly believe we played well? Doesn't matter. Too many days. What? I know. Clockenders has been there going, God, I thought I enjoyed these games. If Emery wins the league, we just need to shut up shop on the club. Yeah, that's what we'll do. I'll start supporting Rapid Vienna. We should have been more than 9 points ahead. Should. Joe, let me change the tack a little bit, because you kind of starting to. What would you do to have Arsenal win the league? What would you personally sacrifice, give, or do to have Arsenal win the league? I want to hear from you. We're hitting a skid domestically. Got to snap out of it 100%. Maybe this is what we need, Jose. Do you think maybe this is the answer? You just have one bad result and it snaps you back into form?
I'm just thinking about 1970-71 when we lost 5-0 to Stoke.
Yeah, or 1997-98 when we lost 3-1 at home to Blackburn. Or 1989 where we lost to Derby County at home in the 3 games to go at the end of the season. We only need to win that, and it's just nonsense, isn't it? Arsenal Joker, you're not in crisis. Yeah. Does anyone think that we make the most of errors out of this big 6? Don't know. Don't really understand the question, if I'm 100% honest. Villa winning the league, Fuck me, we're really not going for it tonight. There's a lot of people that feel that way. Clock Enders is a possibility at this point, thanks to us. Hence why we should just cancel the club if it actually happens. I don't think it would be obviously. I'm not cancelling the club because we didn't win the league. The match with City won't matter. That's match week 33. Worry about Leeds. I don't think we beat Leeds. Looking like we will be third in February. Social, do you want to put a bet on it? I'll take a bet. I'll take that bet. Because then I can say stuff. You can say stuff. Let's put some money on it. Let's get involved in the chat and let me know what you're prepared to do. Do you think it doesn't have to be money, by the way. It could be a sportsman's bet, but it just feels like a sort of thing that people say when they're upset. You know, we're going to be third. I heard all these fucking people saying at the start of the season we're going to be in a top 4 battle. We're not in a top 4 battle. We are still, having played really shit apparently every other week, we're still fucking top by 4 points. Make it make sense. Zanzi, make it make sense.
Oh, I can't, mate, because I suppose technically speaking, we are in the top 4 battle because we're top of the 4.
Yeah, I know. Well, there you go.
There we go.
We've won that battle.
Yep.
Really, I mean, now people people couldn't wait to come out of the woodwork and slag Arsenal off because we lost to Man United today, and now they're saying, you know, where were you slagging us off when we beat Inter? Why? What is this? 1 minute we're great, 1 minute we're shit thing. Stop it. Stop. You're doing too much. It just hurts losing to Man United. Yeah, it hurts, but you don't have to lose. Yeah, absolutely it hurts. No question it hurts. It's shit. I will lose my fucking shit if we drop points to these. Well said, sir. If you don't think it's a possibility, you're delusional, my friend. No, of course it's a possibility. What a daft thing to say. Like, of course it's a possibility. Like, you can put money on it. Aston Villa could win the league, put some money on it, you'll make a lot of money. The probabilities aren't there. Currently, Arsenal, according to Opta, are 80%. So if they've run 10,000 simulations and we've won 8,000 of them. Villa have won some, though, so it's not impossible. If you don't think it's a possibility that the Third World War will render all of this obsolete and we won't have a league. It's a possibility the sun doesn't rise tomorrow. It's just... probabilities are, you never get 100%, you know. If there's one game to go and we're 4 points clear, we'll be 100%, but not until then.
What are the chances Man United win the league?
Yeah, less than 0.01%.
Yeah, I mean technically they still can because there's still enough points to do it by.
Not to be facetious, but Tottenham could still win the league. It seems too easy to go through. I know, right? It seems too easy to go through the middle of Arsenal. They're always miles open in the middle. Joggy, great to see you. But why don't we concede more goals then? Under KSE, we have been poor. It's okay to admit that. Okay. So, have Aston Villa... I mean, it's just what you call poor, isn't it? We haven't been poor. We might not have been as good as you want us to be, but fucking hell. Lol, we even be more risk-averse after the home game. Leopards don't change their spots. We know this, Leopard. Social Jones, I can't disagree with you. Like, if you feel like you've seen enough and you're sure that we're not going to win the league, I'm not telling you you're wrong. But can you at least admit you might be wrong? That's what I'm saying. Joking, exactly, mate. I'm not even angry anymore. See that? You two just get your own channel. Just madness.
If we get 4 points in the next 2 games, then Tottenham can't win the league.
Yeah,
because they can get 45, so they can get 53 points in total now. It's almost going to be Tottering Day, isn't it?
I know. I was trying to work this out the other day. I got interrupted working out St Totteringham's Day. It's 8. Well, after the result today, I think it's the earliest it can happen, which would be stupidly early. Hang on, let's have a look. The earliest it can happen would be on the 14th of March when we play them at home. Sorry, that's not when we don't play them at home. Then we've already played them at home. 14th of March. That was Liverpool played. They play Liverpool. So when we play Everton at home, by beating Everton, we can secure a 14th of March St Totteringham's Day. But everything has to go our way, and who knows? It doesn't feel like it is at the moment.
No, it'll be Sunderland at home, 7th of Feb.
What do you mean?
Well, our next game is Leeds.
No. We can't do it at Sunderland. No, there's still too many opponents to play for. What I'm saying is we are currently... St Totteringham's Day looks like it will be 8 games before the end of the season, which is the 14th of March at home to Everton.
Right. So Tottenham can get 53 points in total.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Hey, I'm 45. Oh, I'm talking out my arse now, aren't I?
Yeah, you're totally talking out your arse. There's 15 games left. They could get 45 points from here. I know they won't, but they can do.
Yeah, for some unknown reason, I decided to think, oh, fuck it, only give them 25 points. So it's 45, so it's 73, isn't it? Okay.
No, it's the 8 games to go. It is the home game against Everton, but things would have to go very badly wrong. We need more than a St Totteringham's Day this season, don't we?
Oh, yes.
There's so many people who are so sure about their opinions. It does freak me out a little bit. I'm glad you're here, guys, but some of you... I said I don't think it'll happen, but it's clearly a probability with our form. Our form is over the last 3 games or over the last... Are you talking about Arsenal's form given that we've played 23 games or 3 games? Because we're top of the table by 4 points. Our form is better than anyone else's. That's obvious, isn't it? Why do people think we are the same person? These guys are paranoid. Because I think you are. Wow, you really are delusional. Partey is much better than Zubi, sadly. I'm not even... So what? You would have kept... Did you want us to keep Partey? Is that what you're saying? Should we try and sign him now? Do you think... Because he has to come to London regularly for court appearances. It does make sense. Okay, what are we talking about Thomas... Why are we talking about Thomas Partey? Have a bit of sense. Okay, then I'll play the game too. There's a possibility Liverpool win it. Yeah, there is. There's a possible... We can... Clockender's absolutely right. If we're totally honest, there are 9-10 teams are out of the title race already. Everyone else has got a chance. It's just what probability you sign it. It's so easy to come in here and go, we're not going to do this, we're not going to do that. We'll always back it. Put your money where your mouth is. You smoking. Zubi has nothing on Partey. Let's see if we can bring Thomas Partey back. I'm not having any more fucking conversations about Thomas Partey. Thomas Partey had to go. You do know. I mean, like, I'm assuming you've watched enough of our football team to know that we can't have Thomas Partey playing in an Arsenal shirt anymore, right? Your city will always be blue. I don't live in a city. Good luck, though. I love Zubi, but he doesn't pass through the lines nearly enough as we need him to. I feel like there's something in that, you know. I think that's probably true. But then I wonder if that's because the people aren't making a run. London is blue, but it took Chelsea 50 years to win. Fuck all. Oh, yeah. London is never blue. He's playing for Villa, Real. You've written Villa and Real because he has a case against them and Arsenal couldn't afford the risk. Oh, is that what it is? Oh, I just assumed that he was a twat. Liverpool's fans are screaming for Slot to be sacked after winning the Premier League in his first year, but we are wrong for asking for Arteta to be sacked. Joking. I'm not sure we're speaking each other's language, mate. Arne Slot, all right, just bear with me for a second. I'm going to speak to you like I think it's going to make any difference at all, and then I'm going to stop. Okay? People are calling for Arne Slot to be sacked because he spent 400 million in the summer, and Liverpool, as shit as you think we are 14 points behind us. 14 points behind us. And I don't think Liverpool fans liked him that much anyway. But they think he should go because 14 points off the lead in the end of January is quite a distance, and they're not happy with it. That's why people are calling for him to be sacked. We're 4 points clear at the top of the table. Do you see a difference? Can you see a difference? Do you think, I know that you're great with numbers, but do you think that it's more likely that Arsenal win the league or Liverpool? And then let's just stop chatting to each other because it's getting annoying. Showing faith is what a supporter does. Backing an incompetent manager who's a proven failure is blind faith. Save this season, sack him tonight. He's earned this overdue P45 then again. Dr. Seymour Butts, an AFC proctologist. It's just the sort of thing people say, isn't it? You're just chatting it. You know, you're just saying, you know what? We should sack the manager. You know we won't, so it's an easy thing to say. I think I should take over at Arsenal. It's just another thing people say, isn't it? Clockenders means nothing. Zubi been here half a season already, made double the errors Partey did. Also scored more goals. I'm with Rosie. From here on in, on this channel, Do not talk to me about Thomas because I'm not interested. I wouldn't have him put on a red and white shirt even if I thought he was a Ballon d'Or winner. Okay? And if you want him playing for Arsenal, then your standards are not my standards, and we're not talking about it. We're not doing that. Clock enders means nothing. I've read that one. Brentford away is a tricky fixture too. They're all tricky fixtures, really, aren't they? Right after Chelsea like semi-final of the League Cup with an advantage from the away leg. Imagine if Emery wins the league with Villa. Yeah, it'd be amazing. Can we all just get on this? I'm fucking tired now. If Arteta does not win the league or the Champions League at the end of the season, we'll sack him. But we don't know yet, so we're going to have to keep going, aren't we? Honestly. Do we really finish without silverware again to come to the foregone conclusion this moment? Yeah. Seymour, you've started to represent the endless noise, the endless unthinking noise that football fandom has become. No one's sacking him. You know we're not sacking him. The fact that you want to talk about it, you can have that conversation by yourself. Stop banging on about things that aren't going to happen. Yes, we do really have to finish without silverware again to come to a foregone conclusion, because you're going to be hiding behind your fucking words when we win the league this season, and you'll be like, oh, I've just said we should have Standards FC. Lee Gunner said it, so now I say it. 1930s FC. Joe King, careful, dude. Clockender said it's not possible. If he wins a quad, do we sack Arteta? Yeah, they would, Boy Tendia. They'd sack him because Lee Gunner said so. Party get... I'm not doing it. Be warned. Don't be mentioning him again. Are these guys being serious? When our midfield are getting outplayed by Liverpool, Chelsea and United, we're so badly outplayed by... Do you remember when we were so badly outplayed by Chelsea that we beat them 3-2 at their place? It was an embarrassment. I was disgusted with us. I was like, how come we haven't won 8-0? Honestly, you guys are selective memories. We lose 3 games in a season and you're all over it. I was told we'd be 8th in November for the whole summer. I know. I was told we would be a top 4 battle. We'd be lucky to make Champions League. Now we're... I assume, like, man, you've been dealt the delusional side of the fan base for years. Mate, this fan base... There hasn't been a delusional side of our fan base for years. It's all people who've just started joining recently. It's really irritating. If Xabi is free and Teta doesn't win anything, we go for Xabi. Yeah, or me, or Captain Marvel. I don't know. But that's a conversation for summer, isn't it? Fuck's sakes, we're top of the table. Luis Enrique would be nice. Haven't left the house all day enjoying the warmth. So you're saying no one is better than Arteta? Clock ended. Who said that? Did anybody say that? Saka nil, goals in 17. Yeah, Saka's form has been shit. Do we still believe we're going to win the league? Some of us do, yeah. I've seen enough examples of sacking a manager mid-season and a new manager bounce winning silverware. Jose, who is that though? Like, I mean, we're talking about the title, aren't we? We're talking about winning the Premier League. Can you try and remember a time where a manager came in halfway through the season, and like halfway through the season you sack a manager and you win the league? Can anyone tell me when it's happened? I'm thinking of you, Dr. Seymour Butts, because you've seen everything. Sack Marteta, sign Klopp. Yeah, Majin, come on, man. You might make people angry. No one's going to be angry. You could say a lot of silly... Joe, you haven't made anyone angry and you've been saying nonsense all evening. Tenko Olive, what the biggest site for transfer value is, and the fact you've used the word garbage instead of rubbish tells me everything I need to know. Ooh, good stuff. Just had a really... Here we go. It's Berta's job to find the manager, but also Enrique De La Fuente, Nagelsmann. Nagelsmann manages Germany. De La Fuente manages Spain. There are names out there. Can we talk about it in summer? Because we're not doing it now. And even if you really, really want us to... there's no point in us talking about it. Why are we all talking about it? Why are some of you talking about sacking a manager? You know it's not going to happen. Was he banned? Was he banned? How long has this Dan fellow supporting Arsenal again? 1980. Oh, we answered that question. Fuck me, that's a long time ago. I see. I'm so miles behind. We're not doing any more chat. I'm going to go right to the very end. See if there's anyone new in here. First in the table, third in the form table, 100% Champions League, definitely sackable. Thank you, Adam Moore. Thank you for being here. And yeah. Arteta sacrifices every Arteta for control. Yeah. Do you know what? Some of the comments have been pretty low rent, haven't they? Wanting him out is crazy. Not as simple as just replacing. Same with Wenger. I know, but we're talking about kids, aren't we? We're talking about, I want him gone. Ruined Aubameyang and Lacazette. Jesus came to Arsenal looking like, not. Yeah, Man City let us have R9. What a stupid comment. Man, somebody's God, you're trolling. He is trolling. Yeah, R9. Jesus was R9. Of course he was, yeah. He came to us, but with, like, Pep Guardiola was hanging on to his left leg. Please don't go, R9. What a fucking silly comment. There's also way too much player fandom. Do you know what we need to do, Zanzi? What's your opinion on this? I've really enjoyed having lots of people come into the pub. It's been like a Valentine's Day in a restaurant. We've had lots of people come in, some of whom are all saying the same thing over and over again. I've been drawn into Arteta out comments and bullshit like that, which everybody knows is never going to happen.
I'm surprised the P word came up, actually.
The what? Which
the
one?
P word.
No, that's fucking ridiculous. That's people who don't love our club.
I mean, I'd love to know if he does come, which ain't going to happen, then how's he going to be doing it in Belmarsh?
Mate, I don't even want to go there. I just don't understand where people stand.
Excuse me, Mr. Prison Governor, can we have Mr. P, please?
Yeah, can he play? Can he have the weekend off this week? Can he have a conjugal? Fucking
yeah,
look at that. Moss is here.
Can he come and have a Champions League match away from home? No, you're not coming.
Yeah. So where are we at? Logic is only fun when it's half baked. Guy seriously hates. Yeah, do you know what? This is like a look. Just look at this comment here. Yes, I do. Yeah, I do. And if you don't, you and I don't just see the world the same way. That's all right. You know, I'm not having him. Yes, we're 4 points clear, but we're reacting to the current trend in form, and 4 points isn't enough of a buffer to be struggling in the league. No, but Maidsen, you still don't sack a manager's 4 points clear at the top of the table. Can you give me an example of when that's happened? Lucky saying 100% players don't want hurt, don't want players we hurt, motivate, go strong Leeds United. Yeah, I hope so. If you're so tired, end the stream. I'm tired of you. Why don't I just end you? He hates any opinion that does not align with his. Joe, like, you've not shown a lot of sympathy for opinions that don't align with yours either. Okay. Zubi was actually what we needed. Party cannot even get... Moss, I know you're late to... But we can't talk about Party. It's just... It wasn't even like... What they're saying is we shouldn't have let him go. Or what was it that made us? Why did we suddenly decide the lovely gentleman Thomas Partey?
No comment.
Okay, well, I'm taking him off. Hope you're well, buddy. I would love Arsenal to win the league under this manager. It would be amazing. It would be. Let's just see. We are top. Like so many of the people, so many of you that come in here tonight and tell me that I should listen to your opinion had a completely different fucking opinion 3 months ago. I can't keep up with he just doesn't agree with us. No, I don't, but you don't agree with you. You told me it was going to be a top 4 race. You told me that we were never going to win anything. You didn't predict we'd win 7 out of 7 in the Champions League. You didn't predict... all these people that come in and go, Real Madrid will batter us, then they don't. PSV will batter us, then they don't. We're going to get shown up by Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich are the best team in Europe, and then we don't. Like, have a word with yourselves. If you're constantly wrong, don't be upset when I don't listen to you. Can Standards FC fathom a quad, or is that too high standards? They don't know what... They couldn't count to quad. The Gooner Channel, Dan Zanzi, usually all highlights fans pick and review where did it go wrong. Today's highlights, I don't think many fans will be picking to... Charles, brilliant comment, by the way. I usually watch every game twice. I'm not watching this one again. I fucking hated it the first time around. They are just crawling out from under rocks because Man United beat us. And they've been dying to say that we're shit. And all the time we've been beating teams, they've been, Inter Milan will batter us. That's what you said, isn't it?
When Villa come to the Emirates, we're going to do he beat you again, get a double over you? Oh, we lost 4-1.
Yeah, got battered. They got absolutely battered. Now I'm supposed to be scared of them. Dan, you're the man. You made my worries settle down. I'm so pleased. Oba was not that good, guys. Kind of you. I know, you can't say that, though, can you? Ryan, the Arsenal fan. Odegaard, the weakest captain in football, but no one listened, and Arteta the coward. Are you going to feel bad calling Arteta a coward if he wins the Premier League? Because he's still 80% favourite to do that. Kobe, 24012. It's time to get behind the team. I think we all have trauma, but champions don't throw all their toys out the pram. We are having a little slump. Save the man to talk for the summer. Leeds next. Kobe, brilliant to have you here. Exactly. That's almost top comment. That's one of the best comments we've ever. Oh.
But is it as good as me saying about the cleaner getting sacked?
Better. I didn't really get that comment. Is it $1 beers and karaoke night? It feels like it. I was just going to say, Zanzi, I was going to say to you earlier, and I, I'm giving out free memberships. I think we have to do some members only, because if it gets like this a lot, it's like a coach
what's going to happen if we win the title?
Oh, all these people will be back celebrating with us, going, "I told you so." a lot of the people, one of the most odious things, Miss Molina. Look at that, Miss Molina, Queen of Arsenal. Brilliant to see you.
Hello.
A lot of the problems with these fans is they want to say, "I told you so," more than they want to watch good football anyway. They come in and say, "I told you we were going to lose to Man United." And you go, "I don't remember you saying that. I told you we'd lose. I told you we wouldn't win the league." Well, we haven't not won the league yet. We could still win the league. We won't. Mark my words. I can't mark your words. I don't even listen to them. The good channel. I cannot hate Arteta today, neither in his subs, not... I cannot hate Arteta today, neither in his subs, not patch the show. Any arrogance, he owned it, remained humble, put some of those... Charles, really good point. Really good point. All these people who want Arteta to be perfect, do you ever wonder if they're perfect? Do you ever wonder what... I'd love to know what some of these rabid anti-Arteta people do for a living, and if they're the best in the world at it. And if they're not the best in the world, they're second best in the world. Do they... Anyway, everyone had stinkers, even Rice. True that. The players lack urgency, and after we conceded the first goal, looked confused and lacklustre. It's very true. Our attack has been poor for a while, though, not just today. Also very true. If this L was coming, I would have gladly taken a spanking at San Siro and not moaned. In fact, many remember this point is not for the team to lose, but more of a which game to emphasise. Yeah, you know what? I'd take that. If we could have lost 3-2 away to Inter Milan and won today, I would have been better, but you can't, complaining about how the team has such a weak mentality, yet all it takes is a loss to show how weak the mentality of some fans are, is inciting division among fans. Uslisex, brilliant comment. It's so true, isn't it? All these people going on about weak mentality, and they flap around like a dying seagull the moment anything bad happens. I would rather take a dump in my hand and clap than watch another performance like that. We were bad. Oh, mate. It's very true, though. Miss Molina, difference is, Molina, you can articulate your point like a fucking professional, others not so much. We open the doors to a pub, people come in. We've had some brilliant new people come in recently, by the way. Miss M, we're so happy in possession, didn't move the ball quick enough today. Lone Star Londoner, when did he turn up? Brilliant to see you, mate. Gift wrapped the first goal. Mentality, it was worrying. We need to rebound. Yeah, I hope we do. And then I'm going to be honest. I think the players need more criticism than Arteta. First goal is, do you know what? That's so true in a way, isn't it? No one ever criticises the players. We didn't take our chances. Arteta can't control that. Yes, fair. Ina Yan Drop, thanks for still being here all this way. What happened to the bet landlord? I wanted to some make or lose some money. I'm here, man. I'm a sports bettor. I'll take any bets within a reasonable amount of money. But if people want to bet that Villa are going to beat us to the title, I'll give you 3-1 day in, day out, right up until they've won it, and you get paid out. But it doesn't have to be money. We can do a sportsman's bet. Standards FC are just a bunch of people who never achieved something worthwhile. Boy Tendio, the reality is, it's really easy to have standards for other people. It's really easy to say, if I was Arteta, I would have won every game this season. And you go, go on then. Do something. Stop telling other people who disagree with you they're definitely wrong because they don't agree with you, and do something. Do you have trophies? Do you have silverware? I look at the people who tell me what an elite mentality is, and I go, elite mentalities are rare. Do you have one? Yeah, we had to play like we have all day. Hi, Hawkwind. Clockenders, get me. No one will be back and say they were sorry for all the slander they threw at people this season. No. All these pricks who divide our fan base by calling people they disagree with mutants, telling me that it's my standards that have cost us the title in the last 3 years when they were shitting their nappy the last time we were ever close to the Premier League, whilst I was going out and celebrating titles with parade wins. And I know that it's tough to go through a title-winning season, but would you rather be a Newcastle fan and Aston Villa are not winning the league this season? We know that, really. Some of you don't know it, but you sniff glue. We lacked a bit of conviction and creativity in front of a low block today. That's a very true. I agree with that. If you start a channel, you need to learn to respect other opinions. No, I fucking don't. And do you have a channel, Tenko Olive? Do you have a channel? Then what the fuck are you doing telling me what I have to do when I own a channel? Like, what do you know about owning a channel? This is exactly it, isn't it? If you own a channel, you have to respect every half-baked... No, I fucking don't. If you don't like it, fuck off. How's that? Can I make it any simpler? Zanzi, you're good with words. Is there anything ambiguous about my last statement? What a crock of shit. If you start a channel, you have to respect my opinions. Does Lee Gunner respect your opinions? Fuck off to him. I haven't got you come to me without an opinion. You come to me with like just some shit you've heard other people say, and you want me to respect your opinion. I can't respect your opinion. You don't respect your opinion. If you start a channel, you need to learn to respect others' opinions. No, I don't. Time to make some chocolate chip cookies and eat this terrible result away. Yes, do it. Send me some.
Well, I was just looking at the stats to go for the game. Man U had 3 shots on target.
Bad, isn't it?
Yeah, all 3 went in. Arsenal had 4. Keeper made 2 really good saves. We scored.
It's really bad. It is really bad. People coming on and saying sack the manager, everything's wrong because we lost the game. I get it. You know, you don't like it, makes you upset. Now get some sleep. He knows team will fight again. Know that we has been, when going gets tough, what happens? PSG, Newcastle, Man United, and Aston Villa, we crumble. But if we win, I'm happy. But that's just my opinion. Yeah, you know, none of us know what's going to happen. Maybe we are going to lose. Maybe we are going to win. I've said it consistently. Not that anybody gives a shit. But like, if we don't win meaningful silverware this season, we're probably going to see Arteta leave. Or I'd like us to see Arteta leave. But I'm not sacking the bloke who's top of the table, 4 points clear, has conceded 2 goals in 7 games in the Champions League, winning every single game, including just last Tuesday, less than a week ago, going to the San Siro and beating the team that's top of Serie A. That's a fucking nonsense. Can you let me know why I was timed out so I don't make the same mistake? I would guess it was something to do with a certain former centre midfielder. I didn't time you out. I think that's a moderator thing. I'm quite surprised they'd be here tonight. I thought there'd be 24-hour emergency stream going on. Yeah, why are they here? Why are all these angry people here when they could be enjoying the shit out of a much more popular stream? Lee Gunner's probably still doing an emergency stream. He's probably only on his 15th beer. Dan, you're the man. You eased my worried mind quite a bit. No sarcasm. Thanks for your Arsenal therapy. Thank you, Makuzi. You're so much better than your alter ego. Everyone's welcome here. However, if you're permanently negative and accuse the panelists of lying, you're not welcome. Well said, Rosie. Rosie's been working absolutely incredibly tonight as a moderator. I am so grateful to you. Thank you so much.
Her fingers must be little stubby bones
do you
by
know
now.
what? Like, I cannot imagine, you know, the kinds of shit that she's had to delete. There's one here. Let me just have a quick look at it. Oh, okay. Yeah,
but then she is paid a hell of a lot of money, just like I am.
You couldn't buy skill like yours and Rosie's. It's not possible. You just have to rely on kindness. Actually, no, you don't have to respect anyone's opinion on your own YouTube channel. Maybe someone really desperate for viewers would do that. I can't get my head around that comment. That pissed me off more than any of the others. If you're going to have a YouTube channel, you have to respect every half-baked arsehole opinion. No, I don't. No, I really don't. Like this is my pub, man. Like you're all welcome here. I haven't blocked anyone or locked anyone out. You're all welcome here. I'm not even asking. Listen, just so you know, you don't have to respect my opinion. You don't have to respect my opinion. You don't have to agree with me. I don't care if you do or don't. But you don't come in here and tell me how I have to run a fucking pub. Do that in the East End. See how many pints you get given for free. Honestly, we've got a cellar for fucking knobs like that. I have to respect somebody's opinion I don't respect. So what? You're going to drop a... I tell you what, drop a £2,000 super chat. We'll talk again. Fucking... Even a £5 super chat, I might go, yeah, this guy's not such a bellend. I'd probably just reject it, though.
Yeah, I'm actually digging out an oubliette underneath the cellar.
Yeah,
So if any other people come in, they're going down there.
That's so highbrow, knowing that it's called an oubliette. I'm constantly surprised at how much I respect you. But not because I have to, just to be clear. Earn respect. Don't come in here and just expect it. I've come to his YouTube channel, click like. In fact, you know what? Do me a favour. If you don't like it, nothing grows a channel more quickly than saying you don't like it. And here's why. I'll explain a bit of the algorithm of YouTube to you. If you, whoever you are that thinks I should respect your opinion, if you bring your half-assed, half-baked opinion to this show, to this channel, to any of the Tuesday, Sunday impromptu shifts we do, and you feel like you're disrespected, man, you put the thumbs down, all the people like you will be steered away from here. And my days will get better. My days get better. I come on here and I'm used to... We don't have this many disagreements usually. I don't... Anyway.
I'm just wondering how many of these people are now Googling what a oubliette is.
I know. They're the forgotten room. It's easy to judge others when you're not in a hot seat. We'll have good and bad days, exactly. We're really taking PSG last season as a real thing, I know. So people really expecting Arteta to make UCL finals without a striker. He must be a fucking genius then. Exactly. Well, he's top of the table and he can't manage. It's not... Pep must be scratching his head, no pun intended.
What's that?
Really are too... Yeah. We don't banter, we give real football logical ideas, make Arsenal team more encouraged to win. We really are two separate humans. Makuzi, I believe you. I do believe you. I'm only teasing you. Boy Teddy, we had $1 billion and let Mika Beerith go and many more attackers. Okay, what's Mika Beerith up to? Do you think if we could buy him now, unlimited budget, would you sign Mika Beerith from Monaco? I mean, genuinely, people chat such shit. Mika Beerith, this season, like the saviour of Arsenal, has got 2 goals in 17 appearances for Monaco, who aren't winning the league, by the way. Bro, got Arteta bed sheets. Tell me you're 9 without telling me you're 9. No, I don't have any. Fucking. Yeah, all right then, if you like. If you like. What a fucking juvenile. What? I tell you what. Arsenal. What's this say? Arsenal FC, not Arteta FC. Oh, with original idea. Tell you what. I'm going to give you some time. I'll call it a timeout. No, I'm not actually going to time. Please don't time him out, Rosie. I'm worried he'll go onto the streets and try and lick exhaust pipes. Just, can you try and think of something funny to say? Bro got Arteta bedsheets. You're definitely not my bro. And I'm a 52-year-old man. I've got just standard bedsheets, and I don't choose them anyway. The missus does. Sorry, the missus is a woman you sleep in the same bed with. It'll happen for you one day. Good luck with it. Another manager's had more. They haven't won more. So this, where are we? Pep has had more in the last 12 months. He's behind us and not looking convincing. True that. This shit about money that we've spent, it's just stuff they hear, isn't it?
In theory, if titles were won on money, we'd be 5th at the moment. We wouldn't even be top 4.
Yeah. Well, we're not top 4.
No.
We're going to lose every game from here till, because we lost one game. Anyway.
Yeah. No, I can see Tottenham overtaking us.
Yeah, they have overtaken us, haven't they? After this game,
Yep.
it's one game. Pep conceded that he needed a striker to win the Champions League with City. What is Arsenal meant to win without a striker and injured Havertz and Jesus, even if they were fit? Why is that on the cards? Why is Arteta meant to make this impossible task happen? Oh shit, I remember back in the day before Mikel even turned professional, it was always Arteta FC. Exactly. So, do you know what? So many of these people who just listen to Lee Gunner and think that if I just, it's like hearing somebody tell a joke and think, oh, people will like me and find me funny if I repeat the same joke endlessly. Sorry to burst the bubble there. Sorry, Dan removed his bed sheets comment and him from the channel for 24 hours. Oh, right, okay. Well, there was a comment that was really fucking childlike, but I was going to give him a timeout anyway. If you read the table, we're clearly in 11th. Boy, Tendio. Makuzi, our dog threw up on our bed sheets at midnight last night and we got rid of the backups a month ago. Late night laundry. Love dogs, but that is the life, isn't it? Lee appeals to failed humans. Nath, you've never said anything I agree with more, and I've agreed with almost everything you've ever said. If I tell Dave Chappelle, I'll be funny too. Yeah, exactly. Here we go. 52-year-old man having a moan in the internet because other fans don't get on their knees for Arteta. The lack of self-awareness is hysterical. It's past your bedtime. Oh, thanks for telling me what my bedtime is, and for caring so much about my life. You're, I can't repay the favour. You are. What's the word? What is the word for you? Irrelevant. That's the word. Thanks, though. Failed humans whose missus probably left them for a Spanish Donny. Look at this. 50-year-old man having a moan on the internet because other fans don't get on their knees for Arteta. I'm not even an Arteta in. I wouldn't mind. It always pisses me off when people... You know when you... I suppose it would be like talking to people about politics these days, wouldn't it?
Does that mean I can get off my knees, Nan? Because you've been banging on about Arteta, get on your knees for him, and I've been kneeling for the last 6 months.
Anyone who comes here regularly, I've never even said that. I've never actually said a nice thing about Arteta. I'm not even. What am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do? You say, because you listen, Dr. Seymour Butts, which is a Simpsons joke that was funny in 1993. So well done, catching up. Why are you here? Just out of interest, and I'm not actually interested, but why don't you fuck off? I don't mean that, and I'm not telling you to fuck off. I'm strongly implying it. But why are you here? You could just fuck off. I don't come to your Burger King and bother you, do I? Do you know what I mean? Why don't you just fuck off? Like, you could just fuck off. If you don't like anything I'm saying, fine. Just see you later. Don't let the door hit your ass on the way out. And apart from that, I do hope it works out for you and that girl from your imagination. Shit, sorry, deleted your comment. Oh, Rosie. Don't fucking... I'm not, can I just say, I am not sure how the fuck Rosie does this. Zanzi and I are up here. I'm reading comments, but the hardest job in this pub tonight has been Rosie's job. I cannot tell you, without sounding cheesy, just how grateful I am that you've been here. We need more moderators, but there could be an army of moderators. They're not you. You are an absolute...
I've literally just got onto me chairs, and now I'm back on my knees again. Cheers, clock enders, for that.
No, but do you know what I mean? Like, going through these comments, I've missed tons out, and you've got these people who, I don't know where they are. Like, it's 1:34 in the morning, and they're in my chat telling me about me.
Yeah.
I can't imagine why they think I would listen to them.
Just on your 53rd birthday, just get the missus to say, "What do you want for your birthday, Dan?" She said, "I'd like some Arteta sheets, please."
Do you know what? Do they even do them? Who the fuck thinks like that? There's these pricks that wake up every morning and talk about Arteta. They go in every stream and they talk about Arteta. They jump from place to place talking about Arteta and accuse me of caring about Arteta. I don't think about him at all. I don't think about him at all. He's a man in charge of my football club. That's it. You just love him because he's sexy and you want to run your fingers through his slightly greying hair and you want to get on your knees. No, I don't. He's Terry Neal to me. I've said it a million times now, it feels like. Mikel Arteta and Terry Neal have won the equivalent amount of things. If Mikel Arteta goes on to win a Premier League, I would like him. I'll be really pleased because I want to win the Premier League. I don't know about you, Seymour arse. But on the side note, is there any cool places to go in London my first time in summer? Oh, mate. Come along to London. There are so many places. Come on, man. Like,
do you want twin, queen, or king size? £82.
Have you found some?
Yeah.
Have you found some? Fucking hell. What, actual Arteta bed sheets?
Well, yeah, it's supposed to be Arteta, but it just looks like a man pouting.
Oh, mate. Do you know what? Like right now, as you're saying that, Seymour Butts is actually buying one. He's going to wrap himself up in it.
For 82 quid.
No, I'm done.
Jesus.
Yeah, 82 quid. No, I'm not doing it.
And they're black. This is the stupid thing about it. Why aren't they red?
Rosie, Ina Yandrop says here, and this could not be more accurate. Rosie, you genuinely are the MVP. I think all I can say to you is that running a channel is just a pure pleasure. I've met so many brilliant people. You know, Zanzi, I have the privilege of spending time with you twice a week, and I love every minute of it. But Rosie, I hope no one takes this personally, but Rosie's got to be... When I started this channel, I didn't know I was going to meet people like you, Zanzi, Rosie, Miss Melina, Sam, and Boy Tendio with quad loading and clock enders, and all of you are brilliant. You do have to put up with a few fucking half-wits in between. That's fine, of course you do. You would do in any business. But Rosie, for the love and the work that she puts into this channel, I'm hugely grateful. I don't know if it comes across as sincerely as I want it to, but I'm hugely grateful. I can't see which of my comments got deleted. She shouldn't have told you. I've been rattling through them. I'm supposed to be moderating chat too, but I don't know. We'd rather start a flame war. That's what I mean. Like, do you know what I mean? Boy Tendiers just put it brilliantly. Rosie never lets up. She's 100%. Like, so glad you're here. So grateful for you. I'm going to do an entire rom-com movie quiz just for you. We're doing it. I'll do it in the coming week, and I'll send you all the. I just. It's one of the most amazing things about this when you start a channel. And by the way, when you start a channel, should you go to the trouble of starting a channel, it doesn't mean you have to listen to every half-baked opinion and pretend to enjoy it. But what it does give you the opportunity is meet people. And then there's another one. Look, there's Jose as well. How is he not? Like, Jose, stand by. How is he not a moderator? I'm making everyone I love moderators slowly but surely. But I remember I always talk about this, but when there was just me doing a watch-along, and Jose turned up, and it was just me and him. And it was hugely enjoyable because he brought banter and he brought, like, love of Arsenal. This is a pub. It's an ocean of calm in an otherwise noisy and voluminous... Like, the emptiest vessels make the most noise, don't they? But we're here to get along with each other, and there are so many of you that I look forward to seeing every single time. And some that don't make it live anymore. Geeks of Muckleby turned up. Red Eye Gooner. There's a few of you I love to pieces. Imagine his little face. Ooh, Seymour Butts. That's cool. Let me call myself Dr. Seymour Butts. That's hilarious. People will like me for a change, and I'll be able to leave the house, and people will want to. No, yeah, so sad, isn't it? They go from stream to stream for their 17 hours of consciousness talk about Arteta pro bono. And what are they going to do if he wins the league as well? Which is apparently, they all say, I really want to be wrong. Well, you are. In almost everything you've ever done, you've been wrong. So this is no different. You know, like Dr. Seymour Butts, tell me you're a real doctor. Imagine that. Fuck. Your family lawyer isn't even this dedicated. No, I mean, honestly. My boss! Yay! I'm still fuming. Take a Valium. I want to meet the guy and go on a place to has the £1 fish. £1 fish? Yeah. I don't think he's there anymore. There's so many places in London. Seriously, stay tuned. Come to the shows. I'll point you in direction. 43 years I lived in London. Performance was not good enough. Do you not think, Mob? I'm surprised. Because you joining us quite late, we've all been talking about how great the performance was. Zanzi was just saying he thinks that's the best we've ever played, even under Arsene Wenger, weren't you, Zanzi?
It's the best performance I've ever seen Arsenal play. Even when we won the double in 1970, I was thinking, never seen them play this good.
70-71.
Sorry, 70-71, yeah.
I mean, that was shit that season. That crappy goal from Charlie George in the FA Cup final, he was knackered. Yeah, this I think we played them off the park. I think, do they give style points for football? Did we win the style points? I don't know. Someone will have to tell me. Hopefully we're still top of the table. Mob boss, hey mate, you well? Rosie put up with me, absolute diamond. Yeah, no, Clockenders, you're an absolute legend here. No, my weekend is ruined. It's not the weekend anymore. Did you really? Was your entire weekend ruined by that game? Well, mine wasn't, but it was a shit result. This club put me through trauma once again. Hey, Mob, I was thinking about this. Hear me out. Here's the thing, right? I've got a feeling, Mob. You know that the trauma that you've experienced as an Arsenal fan. I think if you suddenly changed allegiance and said you were a Man City fan, I don't think anyone would notice, and then you could be really happy. Maybe not this season, but you could claim all the titles and things. You could do that. It doesn't have to be stressful. Being a football fan can be stressful because it's just what it is. Dan, you were going to talk about a Monster Munch. Thank you for reminding me. Roast beef sandwich. This was what I tried today, and it is absolutely delicious. Absolutely delicious. Heinz Monster Munch, pickled onion Monster Munch, and sliced roast beef with, you don't need anything else, bit of rocket. Absolutely delicious. I tried it on burgers, it was good, but on a roast beef sandwich with nice white crusty bread, it was absolutely delicious. And I'm trying, on Tuesday I've got other plans as well, but we need to do a proper show about it. I don't really care about this loss, just bummed that the result did not ruin my weekend, but my friend is a Man United fan, can't wait for that. Oh God, the Man United fans can be tough, aren't they?
I think I was annoyed for about an hour. That was it.
I'm more annoyed now by the people telling me I've got Arteta bed sheets who think I would dish out fucking 80 quid on bed sheets. Just not my style.
Plus the fact you don't like people's opinions.
You know what? If you're going to open up your own pub, you do have to care about everybody's opinions. It's the kind of pricks that used to come into my restaurant and go, the customer's always right, except when you're wrong. That's it. When you're wrong, you're just fucking wrong, and I don't give a shit. That's why my restaurant closed. But you know what? Yeah, it's just such a stupid thing. That was a triggeringly stupid thing to say.
But when I was working in retail, my manager first said to me, he says, right, just make the customer think they're right.
Yeah.
Even when they're not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll tell you a story. We had a cafe at the front of our restaurant, and we were broke, man. We were working all the hours of God's sense to try and make it work. And I don't know much about coffee. I drink black coffee. That was the thing at the time. And I had this, it was in West London, Westbourne Grove, quite a posh part of London. So I had this very flouncy woman come in and go, I'd like an Americano, please. And I was like, well, I don't know what that is. She was like, you don't know what an Americano is? And I was like, no, I have no idea what it's a coffee, right? Yeah. Do you want a black coffee? I need to speak to your manager. And I was like, all right, well, wait there. And I went in the kitchen through the swing doors, came back out and said, I understand you want to speak to the manager. He goes, oh, you're the manager. And I was like, I am the manager. And you don't know what an Americano is. I was like, I haven't got Scooby what an Americano is. Would you like a coffee or do you want to fuck off? I can't believe you're speaking to me like this. Is there anyone here that's, more important than you, higher office than you? I said, well, you can speak to the owner if you want. She went, yeah, go on then. So went through the same doors, came back again and said, I understand you want to speak to the owner. And you're the owner. And I was like, yeah, that's right. You're not going to be open very long if you don't know what an Americano is. And I was like, and to be fair, if being open for a long time meant I had to deal with a lot of people like you, it would be a blessing to close. So maybe you just want to fuck off. and she clutched her pearls, ran out of the room, and I got a standing ovation from all the customers. I was like, I now know what an Americano is, to be fair, but I had no idea what an Americano was. I don't know shit. I haven't got to care about your opinions if I open a restaurant. The fuck are you talking about? I believe Arsenal will do us next week. Mob's been sniffling Seymour's points in it. Are you the same person? Mob, are you Dr. Seymour but Arsenal proctologist? Thought it was a funny joke. My teenage son would probably find that a juvenile comment. Imagine if we win the league and Tottenham get relegated.
Who said
would
that?
be beautiful. Oh, that was Makuzi. Makuzi.
Oh, no, you're just dreaming, mate.
No, that could happen.
I know, but yeah.
Losing a football game is not a trauma. Standards, mate.
Yeah.
That's your standards. Because you've got a life and you don't think my standards are actual standards, you're the reason we didn't win today. Oh, look at this. Accidentally. Right, so no one's watching you chat nonsense because you have no personality, unlike Lee, and have a fetish for failing serial loser of manager. You're in here telling me you're not in here. Oh, Austin, you've hurt me. You've made me see the error of my ways. Let's sack Arteta. It's this kind of intelligence that I'm used to finding under a slab of rock. Even claiming PTSD from previous seasons is kind of wild. There are actual war vets with PTSD. I know it is disgusting. I work. I do quite a lot of work with Combat Stress, who help veterans who are homeless, sometimes, dealing with the most incredible amounts of stress. So when we talk about PTSD, it is a little bit disrespectful, isn't it? Where's Austin? Don't go. You're my fucking person tonight. Please stay. Tell me how I can be more appealing to people like you. I need to know. Is that also A for Austin or A for asshole? But you come to watch. I know, it's mad, isn't it? Coming into my fucking yard to tell me that you're not coming into my yard is just brilliant. I don't know what is going on behind the scenes, but they looked injured. Yeah, some of them did. Boy, how can fans be over trauma and overreactionary? Who rounds the top four? Villa, Chelsea, or United? I think it's United, isn't it? I'd like to see them in the top four. I'd like to see Man United. I think our Man United fans have had such good times in football, but they've really struggled. Losing a football game is not trauma. No, it isn't. Austin, what time did you get back from the game, mate? Oh dear. Got well rattled by the bedsheet comment, fella. Yeah, I absolutely did. Yeah, you're right. Look at me. They actually given us a good idea of what to get if we win the league. All Arteta bedsheets. Ooh, Slice X, you're a fucking genius. Can we do it? Should we do... I'm going to do... Fuck it. That's the first merch we're going to sell on this channel. Arteta bedsheets. Clock end as well. It works on single beds as well, Austin. And cribs. You fucking melt. Rosie, have you made chocolate Rice Krispies but using Mars bars? If not, get involved. Oh, that sounds good. Austin got timed out. Oh no, he's got nowhere else to go, Rosie. Austin doesn't have friends. He got timed out by Lee Gunner, I think. We've entered the portion of the evening which is basically me just being pissed off with fucking juvenile delinquents. If Arteta wins the league, I genuinely want a medley from Magluminite singing Super Mick Arteta. They can't sing. I don't watch any of those channels. I'm definitely not going to start now.
So you finally took my advice, because I don't watch them. I've not watched them since I
have taken your advice. Although saying that, what was it, Friday night? I couldn't get to sleep. I started watching Lee Gunner. I thought it would send me to sleep, and I was just like, oh god, this guy's absolutely battered. He's just sitting here talking about who he thinks the fittest women are. Used to be a football channel, didn't it? What was the comment? Austin, you are an absolute legend. Got well rattled by the bedsheet comment, fella. Yeah, I'm fucking rattled. Anyway, I need to get off this channel. Start a new channel where I care about Austin's opinions. I've had a good night. We've had lots of people watching. It's been totes emotion. Great to see Philip Randall back. There's been a few people. Also great to see Lone Star Londoner. He's been in and out. Far too many people to say thank you to. I'm going to hand over to Zanzi for final thoughts.
If people really want to know what stress is going to be like, then you go to bed on a Sunday evening and you're okay, and then about 12 o'clock Sunday you're feeling a bit ill, and then come about 2 o'clock on Monday morning, you actually ring up 111, tell them what your symptoms are, and then they rush you off to hospital. And you get to hospital, and the surgeon or doctor looks at you and says, "All right, yeah, you've been admitted." And then on the Monday, the surgeon comes on, has a look, and says, "Right, we need to operate on you, but do it Tuesday." Okay. If you don't operate, you're going to die. I'll go for it then. Yeah.
That's a pretty easy one, that one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Hence
the reason losing 3-2 to Man United. Yeah, a bit pissed off.
I know it doesn't play very well, but like I love you for making that point and as eloquently as you did, because of course we all get lost in moments that we think are going to last forever. You know, we get lost in the minutiae of things that just don't matter. On my last days, if I have the luxury of knowing that I have only a day left on my final day on that Arteta bedsheet on my deathbed, I'm not going to be worried about Austin. You know what? Life is something that's incredible and precious, and you don't know how long we've all got it, and you don't know how long we've got each other. And if you want to spend every minute of it being miserable, there's no one that can help you. But one of these days, a thing will happen to you. You will lose a loved one, or you will lose something that's so precious to you, and it will change how you look at life altogether. And that's usually what we call growing up. And most of us have been through that at a certain point in our lives. And then we get some absolute dickwad going, well, you love Arteta. You want to suck Arteta off. I wouldn't even buy Arteta a pint. You know, he's all right. He's got a wife. He's got kids. This is the thing we do. People like Austin who have nothing better to do with their lives than criticise other people who have achieved far more than they ever will. It feels like they've never had anything really bad happen to them. We're here together. This is a community. Not everybody belongs here. Everybody's welcome. Turn up, show respect, be kind, be part of it. You can have a different opinion, but don't be ad hominem, rude or nasty. And totally always respect. And see, you say something like that. You come up with some life, some wisdom of life. He replies with, Arteta was getting booed today. The gimmick is coming to an end. Yeah, all right.
Well, I have to say, thanks, Lucky Singh, for what you just said.
Lucky Singh's been brilliant.
Yeah, but it is Zanzi, Z-I, not a G-I. But I love the way you...
Lucky's been...
Just keep doing Zangi. I don't care.
Lucky's... Zanzi, I've told you before. Actually, to be fair, it does look like a Zangi in your little thing.
I know, yeah. I've been looking at the thing.
But... You're also forgetting we've started this channel, so we have to take everybody's opinion seriously. So henceforth, you will be known as Zangi.
Zangi. Yeah, and I also like to, who is it? BX, yeah. He says we need a poll, Arteta bed sheets or Gary's curtains. It's got to be the curtains, mate. Sorry.
Curtains a go-go.
Anyway, my final comments.
Yeah.
It's been emotional. Crap game, but we move on. The comments, most of the regulars have been brilliant. They always are. The irregulars, not so much. Rosie has been a bare knuckle typing away on her computer at the moment. Delete.
Just an absolute legend.
Dan, get some fucking bed sheets, mate. Everyone's.
Do you know what? I'm going to get you. Do you know what? For Christmas next year, you know what you're getting from me? You're getting Gary's curtain bed sheets.
Oh.
You'll never sleep again. Oh yeah, look. What's the serious question? What is the obsession with the sucking off Arteta comments? It's weird. It is weird. Why do if I've never said a thing about Arteta, I've never said I'm pro Arteta, and people accuse me of wanting to have sex with him. It's like you get a real glimpse into what's going on there. Get some fucking bed sheets is a slogan. I love it. I'm so grateful. Listen, every now and again we have a busy night and we get some tourists in, and some of them stick and become a really important part of the. So if you're one of the people who's dropped in and then you. I hope you come back. I hope you enjoy it as much as I do. And we're always pleased to see you. If you're going to say the same thing over and over again, you're probably wasting your own time being here. I'm going to make some more moderators because I honestly, nights like this have just made me realise just how important what Rosie does is. And thank you. And thank you to all of you. And until I see you again, I think you know what I'm going to say now, don't you? Be lucky.
One clash, one fall, time will explode. You could feel red blood run cold across the postcode. Got me down bad and the fear get viral. Fans screaming, season done like a survival spiral. But breathe, my brother, fear don't leave. North London Warriors built from a stronger queen. Arteta armor defense like granite. We don't melt, this ain't that planet. No panic in the streets of North London. Even when that moment make red blood run cold, we stand strong. Fear fades quick when the baseline rolls. Cannon on the chest, never lose control.
The Guna sound system. We come fi mash up the dance tonight. Arsenal style, red and white. Get behind the red army. Moving like Ferrari. With the handbrake off. Take it off. With the handbrake off. No stop, no stop. Back to the cage. The Lions are awake. From Highbury's goes to the Emirates gates. Drums like thunder, hearts vibrate. When the cannon boom, it's too late.